Here to be abused by Q, as always, as I've been for 8 years.
Riker steps onto Voyager, crossing over from the Next Generation, and Q treads on some landmine issues.
The issue of euthanasia, the issue of suicide, assisted suicide, the issue of life, of the inability to find more pleasure in life.
But what's Q up to? Will ratings soar? And Q and Janeway in bed?
Q, not Janeway, but Q finds himself legitimately attracted to her.
But the big question is, will viewers be attracted when Janeway, Riker, and Q hit the little screen?
Hello, I'm Kate Mulgrew, and on behalf of the Voyager cast and crew, I'd like to take a moment to celebrate Star Trek's 30th anniversary. Gene Roddenberry's extraordinary vision lives on through the efforts of all the wonderfully talented people behind the Star Trek films and TV series, and of course, through the unfailing devotion of its loyal fans. Join with me now as we honor 30 years of Star Trek and look towards a future filled with discovery and adventure.
Hello, I'm Robert Picardo, challenging you to design your own colony on Mars. If you're between kindergarten and 12th grade, you can join the Mars Millennium Project. Your mission? To imagine how 100 people would live, work, and play on Mars in the year 2030. To find out how to participate, go to this website, www.mars2030.net. Tell your teacher, tell your friends, and start thinking about your colony on Mars. For more information, call the Planetary Society.
400 years into the future, and due to some unexplained phenomenon, the crew of the USS Voyager is lost in space.
We'll be passing a red dwarf system in 40 minutes. I can't tell yet if they're in the M-class planets.
A Vulcan, a Native American named
Chakotay, first officer of the Voyager.
And among others, a 24th century homeless junk collector named Neelix, who in real life spends half his working day getting
ugly.
And the other half trying to guide Voyager's lost crew. He finagled his way on board, claiming he knows this part of the universe well. Well, sort of.
Are you familiar with any intelligent life forms in this system, Mr. Neelix?
Familiar. Not exactly familiar. Considerably less than familiar, actually.
Actually, the problem is that the crew is so far from home, at warp speed, it would take them nearly 70 years to get back. They would likely die before ever seeing Federation space again, so the goal is to get home and to survive.
We are the only humans out here, Harry.
Like its three predecessors, Star Trek Voyager is a series of morality plays. One thing that's different is the ship.
The Voyager ship is more like a battle cruiser, more like a destroyer. Its crew is only 125, whereas Enterprise is 408, I think.
Bring the weapon systems online.
At the helm is Captain Kathryn Janeway.
Red alert.
This is a great shot, and she's a marvelous character.
This is ridiculous. We have no intention of challenging you.
She's in charge. She's warm. She's compassionate. She's funny. She's broken. She's conflicted. She's authoritative.
Report!
We're at the leading edge of a shockwave.
She's also the first female captain of a Star Trek series.
It's a pioneering gesture. It's very brave.
Mr. Paris, can you identify the source of the wave?
I think that Roddenberry would approve of this.
This series will have its 2-hour premiere January 16th. It's the very first program on the new United Paramount Television Network. There are a couple of old standbys, though, like the transporter room.
I guess some things just don't ever change. Oh yeah, Hal Eisner, Real News.
Starting in May, the crew of Voyager answers questions from Earth asked by humans like you. What do you want to know?
Captain Janeway, do you think Starfleet would violate the Prime Directive to rescue Voyager?
I'm interested in Voyager's bioneural circuitry. Could Ensign Kim please explain how it works?
Lieutenant Tom Paris, what's your holodeck fantasy?
Voyager Q&A, exclusively on UPN.
I'm Brandon Braga. When I'm in town, I tune into Cleveland's home team for Sci-Fi Saturday.
Well, you know, I don't mean to be disrespectful at all, but I'm happy I'm ready to move on. I think a lot of us are. It doesn't mean that I haven't enjoyed the show and all the trappings of it, but 7 years, you know, out in space, meeting aliens. I think we've run the gamut of strange noses and sagging necks and bald heads. So, yeah, I think it's time to move on. I enjoy the conventions because I haven't had a chance to do much live theater during these 7 years, so it sort of takes the place. Off the top of my head, I can only... The thing that comes quickest to mind is the guy in England who offered to make a large donation to my charity if I would kiss him. And he bounded up on stage when I said, okay, and I guess he thought I was going to kiss him on the lips, and I said, no, just the cheek. One of the earlier ones, called Tattoo, was pretty inspiring. I think because it dealt with issues of ecology and one's acceptance of one's heritage. Have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously and have fun. Don't believe everything you hear and read. And well, professionally, it's given me a lot of exposure all over the world because the show is seen all over the world. And so the fan base has grown. And just to have a job for 7 straight years is nice because you don't have to worry about so much about things in the future. I have secure enough financially or whatever to be able to say no to projects that I should say no to. Without that security, I might have to be tempted to or forced to take a job that I would normally not want to do. So that helps. Personally, I find myself looking over my back wondering if somebody's following me sometimes.
Greetings, and welcome to the bridge of my ship, the Starship Voyager. Technically, of course, the ship belongs to Captain Kathryn Janeway, but I like to think of it as mine as well. The part of Captain Janeway brings with it an amazing personal freedom. We're alone out there, stranded in the Delta Quadrant, the only humans for thousands of light years. Janeway is no saint, and she's no psychotherapist, but she knows that the ship can go down if there's too much sadness or loneliness among the crew. She has to make herself available as a human, one among the lost, not just a leader issuing commands from her chair. I look forward to many more seasons exploring the Delta Quadrant, many more adventures in which the character of Kathryn Janeway can continue to grow.
Roxanne Biggs Dawson.
I read that B'Elanna Torres is uncomfortable with her Klingon heritage. What experience do you draw on to portray this conflict?
Hey, John, if you saw the episode tonight of Faces, you see that I get split into 2 people, and I get to battle with myself and try to reconcile some of those differences, because I believe that we all have a little bit of Klingon in us that we have to suppress or control sometimes, or is it just me? Oh, wow.
Tomorrow night, a question for a crew member whose name we can't reveal. A viewer question for Ethan Phillips.
Ethan, how long does it take to get all of Neelix's makeup on?
What makeup? Oh, ow! Very painful. It's a love-hate relationship with this makeup. I'm kidding. Thank you very much for asking that. Actually, it takes quite a while. I earned a law degree while it was going on this last season. I would say anywhere between 2.5 hours to 2 hours and 45 minutes. It would depend on how much coffee my makeup man had that morning.
Tomorrow night, a question Captain Janeway's definitely...
Shoes now, a whole building saying that a whole red map begin to color boss dying. keep the cold. Breakfast is 10, yeah, Bill Joe. When I stay in the shoes now, the whole building saying that the whole red man begin to call the boss dying. When it's the same way, you can't be seen. You know, for some, another just God, play with this jam. Coming up, choose not right, but not so hobble this again, not a coming no time.
Oh, hey, we should work out how to talk like that. That's hey, it's time for some rich, buttery, creamy discussion. I haven't got any butter in the house, actually. I'm completely butterless at the moment.
Do you not?
No, my son was very disappointed because I made him some chicken soup and he likes buttered bread with it. I'm so sorry. It's just bread, and
Your disappointment.
He naturally scored me and didn't talk to me for the rest of the day.
I mean, valid, honestly. Like, I've got crumpets and stuff like that need to be buttered. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't have. Yeah, I've got
a good buttered crumpet out of the toaster. Like, come on.
I'm a terrible British person. I don't even have any crumpets in the house. Haven't you got a tin of baked beans? What's going on? Hello, guys.
Oh, that is well. To be fair, that might be a mercy. What about tea? Do you have tea?
I've got tea. Always got tea. Yeah. I don't think my wife would live if there wasn't a tea bag in the house.
There you go. That's fine then.
It would be a state.
I started making my own bread, sourdough and rye, and
ooh, nice.
The bread in the States, guys, you wouldn't believe it's so bad.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like an absorbent sponge. It's
tons of sugar, right?
It's white and it's soft. Like if you try to butter it, even with room temperature butter, it'll just fall apart. You get rips and holes in it, and you can pay like $8 for a loaf of something with seeds in it, but it's just so bad. And nothing has a crust on it if you buy it in a grocery store.
I have a bread
you either need to go to a dedicated bakery and make your own.
Yeah, I have a bread machine, so that we get that once in a while. But yeah, the bread generally is much better. Yes, I have recently had a haircut. Thank you, Buta. My wife assaulted me.
You look like an egg.
Not wrong.
You're so kind to him, aren't you?
He's great. He's not wrong, and I'm not going to deny it. It's fine.
Why are you booing me? I'm right.
Yeah, I like bread. Bread's good with butter.
Bread.
We haven't done a butter zone in a while.
Salted
Okay, go on.
or unsalted.
What, for butter?
Don't know the difference, if I'm honest.
One's got salt.
Yeah, well, no, that, but I mean, like, taste-wise.
So, I don't know if Lurpak is a brand you guys have over there, but I always favour their kind of butter.
Is that the
It's,
guy with the little
it's
trombone?
slightly salted.
In the adverts.
I don't know.
That was
I don't
Lurpak
watch
adverts.
adverts.
No, remember the adverts where the guy comes out of the butter and he's got a small trombone.
I haven't watched an advert willingly for like 15 years.
I think that was
I
last
live
time
in
it
the
was
future. Yeah.
Find a picture.
But yeah, like normal like olive oil spread or like the butter is fine, but I generally like it with a tiny bit of salt, just to give a bit more flavor. And I found it also helps with the consistency, so that's my preference. It's slightly salted.
I just throw it in bread. Throw it in bread.
Bread is merely a conduit to get the butter into your mouth. That's what it's there for.
It channels the other condiments. I tell you what. Do you want to tell me? Do you want me to tell you an interesting sandwich I made for myself the other day? Typical midnight. I'm hungry, but I don't know what to make because we didn't have any butter. So I opened
I would love to hear.
This was. We had some ham, so I was like, okay, I'm going to put some ham in the sandwich.
Okay.
Had some mango chutney, so I put the mango chutney in there, and a little bit of Mexicana spicy cheese. It was really nice.
To be fair, I can see that being
a little
nice.
bit sweet, and you got that spice kick on there, and just the ham just to envelop the meaty opulence.
Well, a nice little bit of honey roast ham will always fix the problem.
Yeah, well, this
Can't
was
go wrong with
wafer
the
thin
honey
sliced
roast.
stuff. Nothing expensive.
Yeah,
Child
that's
sandwich
usually
ham, I call it.
Child sandwich.
No, it's not the good stuff. Not the good stuff. You pay like £6.70 for 2 small slices.
That's why we haven't seen his kids. He's turned them into ham. What a shame, Michael.
It's a tough economy.
Yeah, you know what? That reminds me actually. So like,
I am the butcher Jagal.
That's a very different episode with that meaning.
I
Like
know,
every
sweetie.
now and then, like I grab a sandwich from the place opposite. It's like a little Waitrose, which is basically like a little a sort of convenience store supermarket brand, and they're a little bit more upmarket. And they have little sandwiches in there, little like breakfast and lunch type of thing. I only ever usually get lunch type, so it's inexpensive. I don't do a full shop there because God knows I'm not made that money.
Good Lord, no.
And like I used to get their ham and cheese sandwiches, and like they were pretty decent. and then it's like they started doing them with mayonnaise, and it's like mayonnaise is like it's inoffensive, but it's like especially if you're putting it in a sandwich and especially in exchange of butter, like instead of butter. It's just, I hate it. I don't like the consistency, and it's just like, why did you ruin a perfectly good sandwich with mayo?
Oh,
like,
you're a butter sandwich guy, huh?
I've heard of these mayonnaise
mayo.
haters,
No,
and I never realized I've known one for years. I love mayonnaise. I will have mayonnaise.
I don't. Well, the thing is, I don't hate it. Like it's inoffensive, but I don't feel like it adds anything to the conversation.
Ooh.
It's like having tap water at dinner. It's like, yeah, I guess you can drink that. Why not drink something better?
Yeah, thank you, Name is on my side here. No, mayo's like, you get a nice, rich, thick mayo.
I think it does help the texture. It can get a little dry otherwise, some sandwiches.
Wow.
That's why I just pour a liter of brown sauce over everything I eat, so it slides right down.
Oh, my God.
By the way, I've got type 4 diabetes.
Type 4, wow. They invented a new type just for you.
That's the type where the sugar and the insulin just like escape your body through your mouth.
Apparently, Vulcan blood is green because of what is it, iron or copper, whatever.
Copper, yeah.
They cut me open, just brown sauce flows from my veins.
Is your brown sauce the same as our brown sauce? It was like kind of like a vinegary brown. I don't know how
Vinegar,
to explain.
get vinegar away from. No, brown sauce is like it's like a meaty gravy.
I think it's
meaty
different,
flavored
yeah.
gravy, but a smooth gravy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's different than our brown sauce. Our brown sauce is more like kind of, it's like ketchup, but vinegar, but brown. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
That's terrible.
You do the worst job on selling anyone an English cuisine I've ever met, and that's a hard job as it is.
It's a hard job.
Yeah, exactly.
I did have a glorious fry up the other day, which I made myself, which I was very happy with. You know, fried mushrooms and bacon and sausages, eggs, all the works, hash browns. I was just like, once in a while, I'll buy it all in, and I'll just spend like an hour cooking it all under the grill.
There's a lot of prep work involved, but it's
It is
worth
surprising. Timing is everything. Timing is like you've got to get everything on at the right time, so it all comes out at the perfect temperature. Yeah, it's an art.
I saw a fry up. Someone posted. I think it was the shitty food porn subreddit. They bought it while traveling in China, and it was just like untoasted white bread with the crust cut off, and like beans out of a can, and it was just like everything not right with it.
There's a great website. I don't know if he's still doing it. There's a guy local to me in Norwich. He called the Fry Up Inspector, and he would go around all the local establishments and rate their fry ups. He had a website. I'll find the website. And he was brilliant. He must have eaten like loads of fry ups, but he used to travel and he used to keep his own food blog and everything. But let me find him. He's really cool. He did some local ones to me, like just some really bad ones. But there is definitely.
Speaking of which, I watched. There's a guy I think on TikTok. I think it's like the Chef Reactions or whatever. And he's like a chef at some restaurant, and then he just watches people do abominable things with food.
Lincoln chap.
God damn it. And it's just like I think one of them was. It was like chili and hot dogs, and then like made into like a pie with like pasta and lasagna, and then just like craft singles on top of it, and just like yeah, and then just escalating layers of bullshit, and like his face was just.
I love the Taco Town advert that takes the piss out of all those like really stupid food things, like, you know, it's just like we take your burritos and we put inside another, we deep fry it, we layer it in cheese, and we put it in the bag, we deep fry the bag.
Yeah, they take a taco, they wrap it in a burrito, and then they wrap it in like a pizza, and then they throw it in the bag and pour sauce on top.
Please salute the national anthem. Also, your video's chopping up a little bit.
No, not I can do. Let me throw this in reverse and out myself. I'm actually a Miracle Whip guy because I was raised on it. It's basically just mayo but worse with sugar in it.
I don't think I've ever had it.
A little bit of sugar. It's not good, but Americans might know.
I feel like we've had a Miracle Whip discussion
I'm a
before.
terrible person.
I feel like
we may have.
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, I feel like it came up in The Hague. Yeah, it's a walk around.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah. Oh shit! Hang on. Nope.
He said he was going to reconnect, so
he
you
did.
had to give it a second.
I was unprepared.
You were unprepared.
Yeah. So yeah, the Fry Up Inspector's great. I put his link in the chat there. It's worth a look. He's done something like sort by the worst ones because there are some god awful crimes out there. But there are some glorious. I feel like because he's local to me. Like I feel like he's improved the area's fry ups just by his presence alone. Because I was like, he's worse than the health inspector. He might come and rate my food.
I mean, guess what? If you're making food that bad, you deserve to be rated.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
This is nice.
It's a lovely night.
It's glorious. I have.
How's your November so far?
It's not bad. I am counting down the mere 12 days remaining till I turn 40, with some anxiety, because I will then have to be a proper adult. There's no young adult anymore. There's no. It's 40. I am heading full on to the midlife crisis.
Idle. I hate to tell you this. If you've been 39, 39 is not young. Sorry.
It's young to me, damn it. So, yeah,
the difference between 39 and 40 is purely academic, man. I'm sorry.
I know that. That's the thing. It makes little difference. A friend of mine also turned 40 recently as well. I was speaking to him and he goes like, yeah, but he was saying like, yeah, I also got very anxious going up to it. But once got on the other side of it, it's just like, yeah, it's fine. And, you know, I'm sure it will be, but I don't know. It just feels like 40 is, like, I did 30 and 20, that's fine, but 40 just feels like more of a milestone. I don't know why.
I like how you said you did 30 and 20 as if, like, they were, like, an optional rite of passage that you had to do, and not, like, an inevitability of reaching 40. Yeah, I did 20 and 30, they were alright, but I didn't have to do them. Could have skipped them.
Didn't pay them as much mind as I do 40, and it's weird. I don't know why.
I'm not particularly fussed about it. I feel basically the same about 30 as I did when I was 20, really. I mean, I just feel like I'm less of an idiot than I was back then.
I feel more of an idiot, but there you go. Yeah, I'm old now.
Well, maybe there's a reason.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm the mean one. Yeah, okay. Who doesn't like eggs? Everybody eats eggs, but no one likes idiots, so...
I love eggs. I had eggs this morning. I had 2 eggs.
I'm just trying to compare. I called him an egg, which is a delicious. It's a staple.
Good call.
Yeah, you called him an idiot, and like I'm the mean one.
It's fine. I guess what? I've met you both in person, and I'm allowed to be mean if I want to be. I'm allowed to be.
Wait, so Idle's short, right? I heard that through the grapevine.
Not short.
He's not short. He's like average.
He's shorter than me, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm short, and he's shorter than me. No, I'm 5'8", which is like an inch under average, but
I'm around there.
I compensate
I actually
way.
don't know. I'm around. I'll measure myself later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the real test.
Long, this big?
Yeah. Oh dear. Can I do the trigger? No.
I am hungry.
That's a different context for that clip.
That is. I do have.
Since we can't be trusted to vamp, we had a lot of Star Trek topics to cover, so maybe we should go to that before we keep talking about other things.
I'd just like to address the fact that I have pint cans of Hobgoblin. These are very tall cans that do fit quite nicely in the thing. There you go. We may continue.
Just pop it inside the stein.
It's not a bad idea. Actually, I do have a Raktajino mug somewhere. I wonder if it'll fit. It's my Raktajino mug.
That little earthenware.
What the fuck did I think that was?
Namer says eggs are only good for mayo and baking. Incorrect. Pancakes.
True. What's your okay? Sorry to divert us and bring us back to the food. What's your favorite form of egg? What do you like it? How do you like it best represented?
Favorite form of egg?
Yeah. How do you like it best represented?
Can I say like as a part of a cake?
You could, yeah.
No,
maybe not. Like
where
fried,
egg
boiled,
is the
poached.
highlight. If egg is the highlight of the dish,
the main part.
Probably scrambled.
So like quiche, omelets, eggs,
scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. Yeah, that's my
I'm just classic fried eggs. I'll eat fried eggs for days if they weren't so abhorrently unhealthy for you.
Well, how much butter are you using to bring it around?
That's true. Not enough. I'm an oil.
Egg yolks are the nectar of the gods. I could drink warm egg yolks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They are so good.
Do you?
I can leave the whites though. I'm not a big whites guy.
If you ever make a carbonara, it's a great way of like just putting like the little egg yolks on the
side. Actually, you're allowed to say that one these days. That's the one you're allowed to say. Clip away.
Yeah. How many days till your election?
Week away.
Wow. All right, Star Trek. Let's talk. Let's go.
I
thought we were doing well with dicks and eggs. Why are you chasing this?
Back to the pigs!
All right. We have a movie coming out. We have 2 series. We had a clip for Strange New Worlds. We had cast released for
the Academy series.
Yeah.
We had a poster that is a little bit Kill Billish.
That's very
Yeah, they got very bright for that. That's actually what's not quite what I was expecting for that.
I would just like to point
It
out.
felt kind of Avengers-y, the one with everyone.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Guardians.
across
Yeah,
the
Guardians
middle.
Avenger-y, definitely.
Yeah, a bit Marvel-y, which I don't hate. Like, I feel like there's definitely room for that in like New Trek.
I'm glad they're showing off the cast
I don't
ahead of time as well. Like, I mean, this is a one-off special, but I'd like to just show off the fact that they are casting my girl Rachel Garrett, who I'm going to be very much standing.
So
for.
they've actually confirmed that's her.
That's Rachel Garrett. Yeah, they confirmed that a while back. Actually.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Honestly, like that's cool.
Yeah,
it's on screen.
She's on screen.
Like she was
On
always the Enterprise captain that got the least out of like. Well, I mean, apart from Harriman, but no one really cares about Harriman.
It's his first day.
All right. Quick mini tiering. Rachel Garrett, Star Trek Captain, S to D tier. Where are we putting her?
Ooh, solid A. Only because we don't know enough about her. If we knew more or got more of her logs, that's fine. But she did heroically die in battle. She was level-headed. She keep up with Picard, and she was willing to go back and sacrifice herself for the name of history.
I'm going to go with a B tier. The downsides are not enough screen time. She gets killed so that fucking what's his face would Tasha can live, and so that and what's his face oh god. You eat shit for breakfast.
Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, there we go. Like so that he can get the hero moment. She's cool what we get of her, but yeah, she just does not get enough. Guess what?
They
After
don't even
this,
have the hero trait in the game. Wait, did they? I put that in the audit. Did they add that? I gotta check.
this game still has its
They're
strength
fucking
models.
heroes.
They are heroes.
Yeah.
But it's like, if guess what? After this special, she may
All
well
right.
jump up
Yeah,
to an
she
A
is.
tier for me. But for B, I think is fair because like just not enough time.
Yeah,
like heroic and absolutely legendary, but
Not enough time.
not enough time.
That was my banjo, man. I started rewatching Voyager. It's both better and worse the early seasons than I remember. I guess I'd go A. She has no faults, but she doesn't come across as someone written with no faults, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like she's just like a great captain, but you don't hate her for
they
being
gave her
like
the
written.
Enterprise. Like if someone gives you
to-
the Enterprise, you've got to be a good captain like that, or you've got a history of
Yeah.
being. Like they don't just
There's
give it
a
to
certain-
anyone except maybe Kirk.
I was going to say Deckard, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's a point. Yeah.
So we have a super hot Rachel Garrett, and a super hot
Giorgio.
Giorgio.
Yeah.
Yes, we got super hot Giorgio.
Who else is in the cast? Are they all hot?
Are they all original? I think that's.
I think so. Apart from Garrett, yeah, the rest are original. One is a changeling. No, not changeling. A shapeshifter, as in Marsha.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me.
Marsha.
I think it's Martia.
Martia. Yes, David Bowie's wife, same race as her.
Bowie.
David Bowie.
Same race
I'm
as
looking-
Isn't she human? Like what?
Yeah, David Bowie's wife is human.
Actually,
and one of the guys
David Bowie
confirmed.
and his wife, we're not sure if they're human or not.
Damn it, can't find
Idol,
the
you'll
person.
vouch. Like, is it in the Krakoa Hellfire Gala that they speculate whether or not Bowie would have been a mutant?
Definitely was a mutant. I can't find the freaking
dear.
image. The big. There it is.
So whatever. I have fairly low expectations. I mean,
too.
Michelle Yeoh can pull off a lot of stuff, but beyond that, I don't know.
I'm
The fact that they kind of
intrigued.
downsized it for a movie, this kind of says that we don't have a lot of story to tell, but we have 2 hours to tell. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm intrigued of how they're.
I'm glad
go...
that it gets to exist.
Yeah, I'm intrigued how they go from like Giorgio walking into the thingy of Forever, Guardian of Forever, and then ending up potentially pre-20th or early 23rd century, judging by Rachel Garrett, unless they pluck her from time. This could be. I'm interested to see where the Lord. As for the actual content of it, I think it's kind of going to be a harmless romp, like which is fine.
So this is the exact example of the kind of character that I'm fine with them fleshing out. Like we talked about Trelane possibly showing up in Strange New Worlds, and it's like don't do that. Trelane was such a beloved like wonderful caricature of a character. But Rachel Garrett's a blank slate, like, you know, heroic or whatever, but there's so much about her past that's intimated.
Especially if you're doing a
haven't
young
seen.
version of her, I feel like you can get away with a lot.
Yeah, so
here we
like
go.
this would be a good character. I could see her like, you know, after this movie maybe gaining a little cachet and slipping her into another series if it goes well. So
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, if this got changed from a series into a movie, like, I could see it being a case of let's judge engagement, because, you know, they're a bit more thrifty about what series they will and won't greenlight now. And if it succeeds, maybe we'll see a Joe Garrett type of thing going forward. And it's like, I'd be up for that, like, if it's good casting, which so far they haven't been bad on casting, like, just, you know, writing it.
All right, who's... Please.
Yes, we've got people on the cast here. So we've got Alok, who is played by Omari Hardwick.
Bollocks.
Yes, Alok, not Balok.
Airlock.
We've got...
Where are they getting these names from?
Quasi.
We just meet Lieutenant Shuttlebay.
Quasi, who's played by Sam
Quasimodo.
Richardson. He is the... Jesus Christ, it's firebox going off. He is the shapeshifter. What's called a chameleoid, apparently. So the chameleoid. Rachel Garrett, played by Casey Rowell.
Rachel Garrett.
Rachel Garrett. Yes.
Just a carrot and a stop.
That's what you celebrate. You celebrate the heroic sacrifice by eating some Rachel carrots every year.
Dude, that's a Robot Chicken sketch waiting to happen.
April
They're all
3rd.
turned into Mr. Broccoli.
Rachel Garrett Day, April 3rd. Eat some Rachel carrots. Okay, we've also got Melee, played by Humberly Gonzalez, who is a Delton.
What are these names? You got Quasimodo, Melee, and Airlock.
Yeah, good. Who's a Delton? Could be a Delton. They're bald. She's bald, but I'm gonna assume that's a Delton.
Is she sworn an oath one way or the other?
Yes, indeed. You're going to like this one. Fuzz, played by Sven Reigrock. He looks like he's a Romulan, possibly.
Yeah, this is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
We've got Zeph, played by Robert Kaczynski. Zeph looks like he's got a lot of bionics on him. He's got like yeah.
Wait, we have Kaczynski coming back?
No, his name's Zeph, but the actor's called Robert Kaczynski.
Oh.
And that looks like that. I think that's the cast. So yeah, they're fun.
I'm up for it. I'm game.
We'll see if it ever comes out.
You know they said what, January?
Yeah, I think they did.
Is it January?
No,
that's actually sooner than I thought.
Yeah, it said streaming January, so they must be. They've already finished filming, I assume.
Yeah.
Guess what? Give me that trailer. I'm up for it. I'm ready. 3 months. That's not. I mean, to be fair, it is like going straight streaming service, so you know.
Yeah. Paramount Plus of all things.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
I wonder what kind of budget they give. Something like that, a straight to streaming 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't
Or I'm
know.
assuming 2 hours.
Because I can't remember. What did they say it was for an episode of Discovery? Was it like a few million?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 million, something like that.
Probably 5.
I imagine,
Go with
yeah.
that.
So probably maybe I'd say for this maybe 5, 10, 15, maybe like 15 million at the most. I think maybe at the highest.
I mean,
maybe a bit more.
Aren't they losing money on streaming? So I can't imagine it's going to be 15. But
It's a weird
maybe.
one. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, obviously, I think, like, you know, they must be shedding subscribers
Look,
unless
listen.
the Star Trek's on.
The economics of the future are somewhat different.
Just to get Michelle Yeoh is probably 15 million. So
yeah, but then she wants
to
to
be
do
fair,
it.
I actually doubt that. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say she loves playing Giorgio. She's like one of her favorite
actually,
roles.
I really want to see Prime Giorgio. We had so little of her.
Hmm.
And I want to see like her be good, not just like naughty and evil, because it's fun to play. It's easy to play, but
yeah,
you know,
It's
someone like
ridiculous.
Picard, I feel like is harder to nail than a
You're not wrong.
than a mirror character.
Sidetracking. Lower Deck season 5 started. It's very good.
Hmm.
Talin is so funny. She is so good. I am just the biggest Talin fan now. Which I don't think. Have you guys watched season 4 or 5 yet?
No,
Nope.
I haven't. Sorry, I need to get caught up.
Talin's just.
I just don't connect with animated shows.
I need to mainline it. I need to just like start supporting it.
Yeah. There's a moment where Talin, you know, find out like there's this Brikar who is, you know, he plays the tubes, the weird tubes that they play on various sets, And like Tendi goes like, "Oh my god, who would like an artist like that?" And Tillen's like, "He is one of my favorite artists." And they spend the whole episode actually going and meeting her, and she sees the tubes on a pedestal, and you just have this like angel's choir moment, but she is completely expressionless. She goes, but see, people say like, "Hey, can you help us with this?" She goes, "You will have to excuse me. I am having a moment." she's just brilliant. I love Tillen.
Good shit. Guess what? That's what happens when you have like a character that you expand out from like one joke in like was it the end of season 2? Was that?
Yeah. It was season 2. It was so good. It's just such a shame that this is the last season. Like, what the fuck?
Well, don't be sad that it's going away. Be happy that it happened at all.
That's very true. I mean,
5 seasons of Lower Decks. Come on. Yeah, like,
but
come
then
on, like Discovery got the same.
I look at other animations, like Family Guy is running forever, The Simpsons is run forever, Bob's Burgers is on its like 13th series. Like, animation is one of the cheapest things to make. Like,
yeah,
cancelling it seems really, considering it's so popular with Star Trek fans, maybe it just wasn't popular other places.
Well, you say that, didn't you? Go on the Star Trek Reddit, people were hating on it.
Dude, Star Trek Reddit is a bag of grease.
Yeah,
it's just disgusting. It's so gross. Everyone hates everything.
Yeah.
I guess they kind of like classic Trek still, but
yeah, but even I mean, most
they're
of the
also
discussion,
sour about everything.
Most of the discussions on there is nothing new. It's just the same questions over again. What would Picard done if he'd done this? Or like, did Worf's honor blah blah blah?
Well, it's because when Discovery came out, there was a lot of criticism, and they just started banning people left and right for any kind of criticism at all, even like level-headed stuff. So I think they jumped the shark a few years ago, and the people that are left are probably the ones that are.
It's interesting as well. Like now Discovery's finished, how the dialogue around it has just like calmed all the way down. Like, and there's a lot of people...
that was inevitable.
Yeah, which is great.
It stopped poisoning the blood of pure Star Trek, so we can give it a pass now.
But then you enjoyed the 5th season, didn't you? You were more positive than I was.
Sure. I enjoyed aspects of the other seasons too. Season 5, start to finish, was probably above average for
So the secret is just to put people from 24 in there. If the entire cast had been nothing but people from 24, Auto would have given it 10s across the board.
It works on me, yeah. All right, to backtrack. What is the last objectively poor casting they've done in a Star Trek?
Ooh, poor casting.
Because we've said a lot, like it just doesn't happen anymore. Big budgets, yada yada. Like you're good at the start or you're canceled. So who?
Not poor, but controversial is probably Paul Wesley as James T. Kirk.
Oh yeah,
I would say that's definitely swinging for the fences a little bit. I wouldn't say it's a bad casting, but it's. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Kirk and Stranger Worlds at the moment. I don't know about poor casting.
Is there another one from New Trek that we can think of?
Really thinking about it, it's hard.
Yeah.
Maybe Quinto as Spock wasn't the most beloved.
Okay. I liked him.
It's fine. Well, you know what? I feel like Quinto was fine, and then like Ethan Peck came along and kind of ruined it because he just does it so much better.
Wait, did you call him Ethan Pex?
Would I have been incorrect to do so?
What about
I'm
not the biggest fan of Simon Pegg as Scotty because I know Simon Pegg in so many other things. He's kind of too known for me, like Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
No, he gets a pass because he's having fun and he's actually trying to make a good Star Trek movie.
The problem is, like, I love the fact we have Anson Mount and Ethan Peck as Pike and Spock because they were lesser known figures, but like having a big name like Simon Pegg come in and be like, and now I'm Scotty, was just a bit like, no, I just see Simon Pegg doing a Scottish accent, and it kind of takes me out of it a little bit.
Dude, what the hell were they doing getting rid of Cristobal Rios? Like,
that was dumb.
Yeah, probably my favorite new Trek, like new character.
Oh, by the way, he died in a bar in the past.
Good. Oh, that was such trash.
So cool.
If
they show his range. From like episode 1, they have him play 8 different characters, and he nails all of them. They're like, no,
we never saw the
he's
holograms
too good.
again.
Let's cut him out.
Yeah.
You could have had a really quirky, fun episode with all those holograms going wrong or different places. Like, if there'd have been like a 26 episode thing, like it could have been a lot of fun.
Take me out to the Serena.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, they should have called it A La Serena.
A La Serena. Oh, that'd be good.
I'm pretty sure we made that joke.
I'm sorry.
When we were doing Picard readings.
Yeah, plus you're too young for that one. Were you alive during the Macarena stars?
Yes, I'm not that young.
Hold on.
I'm 30. To be fair, Nifty, some of those hologram
That was
actions being bad
1993.
was the fun. That was the point.
That was 93. When were you born?
Wow.
1994. Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't even born when it came out.
Yeah, but the Macarena's tiny.
Oh, that's
that's just been in every
Yeah,
disco ever.
guess what? I went to enough like school parties, like where it was like that was shitty playing on the disco, like a PA. I knew the song. Don't worry.
So I like the way Buta says, "Were you alive for the Macarena?" Like it was some kind of war crime. It's a significant historical event. That
Were you there to see it sweep through the nation?
Pearl Harbor, 9/11. Macarena.
You know what? I'm gonna say we were talking about Paul casting in New Trek. Whatever actress played Narissa in Picard season 1, because like that was a combination of a bad character, and I also feel like she's not a great actress. Wasn't a fan
I've
of
only
it.
ever seen her in one other thing, and that was playing a very campy villain on The Flash. So
She has a type.
Yeah, she has the thing.
So was her Flash character also incestuous?
Yeah, who can save an incest storyline in Star Trek?
Well, I don't even know if it's intentionally incestuous. There could be an actor's choice that they made that. I don't know.
Okay, here's one. Poor New Trek casting. Bringing back and basing an entire series around Patrick Stewart at his age.
Ooh, interesting.
Like, we know the character, and he didn't pull him off very well through most of Picard.
There were some aspects.
He had his
like,
moments.
I like, I'm a Starship nerd, so I love that all the like redesigns of starships and things like that. That was great, but like, as Picard being a vessel for continuity, it wasn't great because all 3 series were so inherently different.
So like, season 2 is abjectly trash. Like it has moments of quality, but it is abjectly trash.
Episode 1 and 2, and then that's it. Just watch those 2 and just leave the rest.
No, here's the thing: there are good parts in the other bits, but it mostly falls apart and falls on its own face. Especially the bits that have to do with Picard. Season 1, I actually rate. I think season 1 is pretty decent. It has a few issues, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think up until they have the fight on the cube, and then Seven throws Narissa over the edge or something. I feel like that's where they jump the shark.
A little bit, yeah.
Jump the ball.
And that's late in the seasons, to be fair. So like most of the time you get through it, it's alright.
I need to
and season 3 is like rough, but it's okay. I don't feel like it's offensively bad.
Massively,
but it is a case of like
incredibly.
But
I need to rewatch.
Incredibly. I guess what I pointed out that you're right.
It's new era camp, basically. I think we'll watch it in 30 years and be like, that is so cheesy, but we kind of like it because we like the characters. And
like the finale is where it all kind of comes to a head, really, and that's where that issue becomes more of a problem because it is just like remember berries all over the place.
I think it was enjoyable. Like, there are some cool moments in there, like definitely like when the Dudastar, when the Titans going up against the Dudastar, the other Starfleet ship, and then they do some damage to it, and then it rises up menacingly, and they're like, holy shit, I'm intimidated by a starship, what the fuck? Like, there were some very cool moments. Like,
Idol's so turned on when it slowly rose. Made him feel things.
Do you have to say it like that?
So the thing is that, like, with Patrick Stewart especially, you're not wrong. That most of the time he's giving, like, I wouldn't say it's subpar, but it's just not good enough for Picard. You can't expect better. Yeah. The best he ever got in Picard season 1 through 3 was when he was I was going to say PH McFadden. It's like there's something that their chemistry got him back in the game, and also a little bit John Delancey as well. Like I feel like you don't get enough. Guess what? Should have just been nothing but Picard and Beverly Crusher and Q in a room arguing for fucking 3 seasons. Perfect. There you go. That would have done it. That would have fixed the problem.
Cristobal Rios just coming back and like, I didn't actually die.
It was episode 1 or 2 where Daj finds him, and then they have to flee because the Romulans are after him, and they do this little sequence where they're running up the library steps, and they do this great cut because it actually makes that 78-year-old, or was he older by that point, Patrick Stewart, he's like bounding, he's taking 3 steps at a time bounding up the stairs. I'm like, holy shit, how can he move like that at that age? But then we saw, the rest of the stuff. But
yeah, I mean, there was.
But
some
it
good
was
moments.
impressive.
Sorry. Okay. No, there was some. Season 3 was, it was good for like expanding like the other cast. Like, we got a lot more Riker, and it was good to see Riker again. Like, when isn't it? Like, and it's good to see Worf. Worf had some such great moments. Like, it's like, Worf, son of Moog, and blah blah blah. I have made some chamomile tea. Do you take sugar? And
all right, what's your worst? What is your worst non-season 1 TNG Riker moment?
Oh.
I don't know if I have one.
Because he's very consistently good. Is there something that sticks out as like
maybe
ooh.
taking the joystick, but even that's kind of cool in Insurrection. I don't know. No, him versus the Viceroy maybe is probably a bit lame, where he chucks him down the.
But he's not the problem there.
No, he's not the problem. No, I don't know. I don't think Riker is.
He's very good.
Yeah, consistently a dude.
Oh, hang on, I've got one. Killing those clones like completely cold-bloodedly in season 2.
Up the long ladder.
Up the long ladder. Yeah, there you go.
Which had the working title "Send in the Clones," which is hilarious.
Like just cold-blooded, just like while a doctor watches on approvingly, like yes, killed them. Like that's a bit rough.
That was. Actually, I'm kind of looking forward to doing that episode just to discuss the moral quandary behind it.
You should hear Stars groan every time when we were playing Elite Force, and I got to a ladder and went, "Oh, not the long ladder," and he went, "Will you stop?"
I was right to do that. You were right to be bemoaned.
All right, we also have we have some casting for the Star Trek Academy show.
We're excited about that.
That cast is stacked.
We have Bob Picardo coming back.
I mean, can we just stop? Can we just address? Oh no, carry on. Cool. Sorry.
Bob Picardo, Tig Notaro, Jet Reno, Oded Fair, Admiral Vance, Mary Wiseman, Sylvia Tilly. Now, please.
That's perfect.
Okay, we're expecting Tilly. Reno and Vance are just like, okay, good, we expect those. The EMH, like, okay, he's just been in Prodigy season 2. That made sense. This is 900 years in the future. The Stars, you mentioned, like, Living Witness.
It's the Living Witness. It's absolutely the Living Witness backup.
It makes sense, but are they going to do that?
You know what I want it to be? I want it to be that it's the Living Witness backup, and he's merged with like the version that had the mobile emitter, cool. So he's got both sets of experiences, and he's slightly different. That'd be cool.
I think he's just going to be there at the Academy teaching, like, let me tell you about the stories of the USS Voyager, and he hasn't quite got over it. And he had to watch them all die.
I don't think. Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, that was like 900 years ago. But I was like, that's when he was born. That was like,
Oh yeah.
To be fair, if you'll get. It's not going to be any. It's going to be the EMH Mark 1. I'm sorry. Yeah. You don't get Bob Picardo to come back and play the EMH Mark 30. Like, you don't do that.
What if he is playing a different EMH? What if he is playing...
He's not.
No, but...
No, even Hollywood dickheads.
Do to come back. He's playing Bob.
Yeah. What if he's playing the reincarnated Zimmerman?
No, he's playing Joe from the beginning of Endgame, where he marries that hot blonde or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's a bit of
with Joe.
A bit of a philosophical question. Do we fall in love with characters like Data and the Doctor because there's an inherent safeness knowing that they can live forever, that the character can endure forever versus others that have a finite end? Do you think that's at least part of why people really love these sort of
I think it's more that their evolution is the reflection of humanity and like the way that.
Well, right, but I mean, how much of that is part of it? The fact that they could endure forever.
It's not a part of it for me. I know that much. Like when I think of like the parts that I like about Data and I like about the EMH, it's about specifically the fact that they are allowed an over dramatic, overproduced, almost an expressionistic version of a human life where like they learn the biggest lessons every week. They become so much more than human. And it's all the little idiosyncrasies of their performance, like Data's little head tilt and the EMH's like annoyance and like his ego and stuff like that. Like the little foibles are what get me. Like the idea that they're gonna live forever, like that doesn't really do much for me. Like I'm fine with characters dying as long as they die in a decent way. I'm fine with like characters that have a finite lifespan. It doesn't really change the equation for me. I find that it can be a really good source of tragedy if you want to dive into that and really develop it, but it doesn't really change. It doesn't change the scale for me, as it were.
Yeah, I'm probably the same. They have an infinite lifespan, but as we've seen with Data, obviously that can lead to all sorts of. Oh, hang on, hold on.
That's really spooky.
Yeah. Real spooky. All sorts of like cast fuckery, especially as they age. And Bob Picardo's actually not aged that badly. Like he's pretty still not like Brent Spiner, who is visibly too old for the makeup. And the advantage of having the EMH not having all that makeup on is that he can swing it and just say, "Oh, I aged. It's fine. I do what the Q did."
Just changed its appearance parameters.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I thought 900 years, I should add 30. Why not? I don't know. I'm just very excited to see what they do. Like him and Vance and
absolutely going to be the living witness. It's absolutely going to be it.
You think? I feel like that's slightly too niche. I feel like they might
slightly
nod to it.
Too niche. Season 5 of Discovery was about the fucking Breen.
True, but this is like one episode in season 5 of Voyager or season 6, sorry, where they mention that he's been off, and like fans have mentioned it. But for the scale of like a TV series where they want to generate a new audience, and he goes like, "Don't you remember that episode? All you didn't watch?" Like he'll probably just be a side off note and go, "Oh yeah, well, I merged with another consciousness of mine somewhere."
Season 5 of Discovery's entire MacGuffin is based off of the chase.
Which you're true.
That's why I like it.
True, but they're not basing this entire season off the MH. It's gonna be, if it is Living Witness, it'll be like one line
saying
like
even more like of a possibility. Come on, man.
I come from the land down under. Yeah, I encountered some bigots in space, and now I'm here. I came home.
Wouldn't surprise me. I absolutely think that's gonna be the case.
Yeah.
And also Tatiana Maslany was cool.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like the elephant in the room, Tatiana Maslany. Like who's the other big name in this as well? Helen. Oh bugger!
Helen Noel. She's making a comeback.
That'd be the new Strange New World season 3 pullback we won't expect.
I tell you who I'm missing is, we talked about it before, Stars, Professorial Stamets with like a beard and classes teaching at the academy. Like, come on, that would be so good.
That would make sense.
Because you even wanted a teaching position on Vulcan in season 2.
But I mean,
we could always get cameos.
Yeah. I mean, they've got 10 episodes and they've already got this big stack cast. There's not like a lot of room for everyone. I mean, it has just been commissioned for season 2 already, which is great. So
there's room for 3 episodes of Paul Wesley in the middle of like the greatest new Trek season of all. Then they can shoehorn in one more character.
He's going to be back. He's going to be back.
I'm alright with it.
There's your segue, by the way.
Yeah. So. To what? Sorry, we don't have a show.
Oh my god!
The trailer came out for Strange New Worlds.
Yes, it did.
Showing the first 3 minutes of what the next episode is going to be.
How do you feel?
Tied up a little bit of that loose end. Stars, you watched it recently, yeah?
I literally watched it today. Yes, that clip is good. I'm excited. It literally just because I remember we had this conversation about how. You not liking the end of season 2 precisely because it made Pike look indecisive and all that, and I feel like this very neatly just goes, no, we're going straight into there, and like he fixes the issue in a very Pike way, and I'm like, that makes me even more excited to see what they're going with it, and the fact that they're not immediately resolving the cliffhanger, like that's going to play out for a little bit, like that's going to be a while before they fix that issue.
How do you feel that they started off the preview clip with straight off at the cliffhanger? It's like starting the Best of Both Worlds Part 2 and then you realise it doesn't work and you'll be like, oh.
I'm alright with
it.
What were you
expecting? Like the ship to explode at the beginning of the episode, then they're like, "Oh, I guess we're done." Like,
no, I know, but imagine like you're no, but I'm thinking more for the hype. Like, imagine you got the trailer for Best of Both Worlds Part 2, and it came through like that. Do you feel like they should have shown a different clip?
No,
this is a better. No.
I think it's the safest one to show because you know they're going to get out of it somehow. There were some lingering questions about Pike, at least in the circle of me. So they answer that. And they probably have a lot of cool stuff that they don't want to show. They're going to do one of those next or upcoming in season 2, probably at the end of episode 1, and they'll show little clips from the other episodes and stuff. So I think it's fine. It's probably the safest thing you can show because we kind of know how it was going to go anyways. Or we assumed.
We do.
Yeah, like I'm absolutely fine. I think this was the right choice because it's like you bring up Best of Both Worlds Part 2 of the resolution. Yeah, that'd be a shitty pick because that's a bad resolution for that like cliffhanger.
That was terrible. That was so bad.
It is very limp and annoying, and it's just like, oh, it's like, but this is not that. This makes you go, okay, cool. So we got the resolution, and then what you're like pivoting away from is way more interesting. Where it's like, cool, we're going to have Lon and co stuck on that ship, and they're going to have their own storyline that's going to be developed, and we're going to go through all that. And that's way more interesting to me than the idea that they just immediately beam them back over and they win. And especially since we're going to get to see like Starfleet and stuff like that, we're going to get a retreat. We might get to see April again, like maybe in a combat situation. Like, there's all kinds of threads and ways that this can play out, and this is way more interesting to me. And like, it also builds up the Gorn as a threat because it's like we literally can't stick around and fight this out. We need to leave. Because I was worried when I was watching this clip. I was like, don't make the Enterprise take on its entire fleet of Gorn ships and win. That would completely like devalue the entire point of like season 1's episode 4, where like they fight it in the gas giant and shit like that. But like the fact that it's like, no, we can't stick around and fight these guys. We have to go now. We're getting our asses fucked. Like, I appreciate that commitment to building up the Gorn as a threat. So, yeah, I like it. It's a good pick.
No, you talk.
All right. I liked Erica Hernandez and the Columbia kind of interweaving here and there in Enterprise. I would like some other kind of ship, maybe Lon in command or second in command, like a pseudo sabbatical where she shows up in maybe half the episodes and they have some kind of storyline interweaving with another ship. I think that could be interesting because we don't see it a lot in Star Trek in terms of like another ship through line. Like we'll get guest appearances from some of them, but not frequently.
Are you saying there should be less Christina Chong on the screen at all times? I don't know.
No, I'm just saying if they're gonna have someone, or maybe Batel and her ship. When they
that got blown up.
Back.
That's dead. That's gone.
Well, they'll give her another one.
Yeah.
If she survives.
So, hang on, I've got an idea. What if we introduce this new character,
Don't
and
do
we
that
make
to me,
him
Idle.
what if we make him the first officer of a ship that already exists? We call it the Farragut.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no! No! Get out of here! Hey, okay.
That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted.
Okay, do you want to talk about Rice Darby? Who have you guys ever seen anything with him in it?
No,
I don't think I have. No.
You've not seen Flight of
It's
the
not Reese
Conchords
Darby, is it not?
or Our Flag Means
Oh,
Death.
like Flight of the Conchords I've watched. Yeah,
he's the he's like Brett Dick. He's the guy that manages it. He's very fun. He's very good. He's very good in My Flag Means Death. Everyone is screaming that he's playing Trelane. I really do not want, because they've already established, yes, he is playing an existing character with a new face. I really fucking hope it is not Trelane because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's just that is needless fan wankery. That is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
I kind of hope he's playing. Someone said, what was the guy that was on The Trouble with Tribbles?
Orange, not migraine.
Yeah, that's
Arn Darvin.
No, not Arn Darvin.
Cyrano Jones.
Cyrano Jones, and I think Cyrano Jones that's quite a good pick for him.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, sure. Not would have been my pick, but sure. I mean, we're getting a Dr. Roger Corby pull.
We are getting Roger Corby.
Either. I'm excited.
What's the percentage chance that we get a third Mud?
No,
very low.
No.
I know. I think they're committed to the
forecast it for me. What percent chance is there?
2%.
5%. Yeah, 5% chance maybe.
I'll put it at 12%.
I'll be real with you. I don't think that Rainn Wilson is doing much at the moment.
Yeah, he'd come back for Mud if they wanted him, but it'd be hard to slot him in.
Yeah.
But not Trelane. Please don't do Trelane. Please don't.
Yeah.
No.
It's so bad.
Okay, but who would you want him to play then for the existing characters? So we mentioned Cyrano Jones is another possibility.
Yeah.
Who would you want him to play?
What about like an old-fashioned Klingon? No, he's too funny for that.
Yeah. I don't know. Klingons would be pretty fucking funny.
Is this supposed to be a cameo or a recurring?
I think this is a cameo. I think this is like a one-off episode.
Plot twist, he's Cyborg.
Well, then I don't care.
Actually, I was literally just about to say, fuck it, he's Cyborg, which would actually might work. Because, what's his name?
Cyborg's pretty lighthearted.
Yeah, he was fairly like...
Lawrence Luckinbill.
Yeah.
Go, my favourite name.
Yeah, actually, Cyborg might work because we didn't have any payoff in season 2 for that little tease with Cyborg and Captain Angel, did we? So maybe.
I'm really glad that they let that cook for the entire. Like, it's like, no,
Yeah.
we're not going to come back to that just yet. We're going to let that cook.
Which I think I did pick on a little bit. Like early on, they'll establish something or say something, and then they bring it back like the next episode. So you're like, "Oh, you're just doing that because you wanted to bring it back." Like, so,
I hope
it is good to let it linger.
I hope they don't pull a Marvel and then just introduce all these concepts and ideas, and then then they suddenly go like, "Oh yeah, you've been cancelled for season 5." Like, "Oh right, we haven't got time to pay them off." Like, fuck, come on.
I don't hate it. You know, people are going to write books or fan fiction about it, so it gives them some fuel.
Yeah, the hidden life of Cyborg.
I just want less TOS in my Strange New Worlds. And I know I'm not going to get it, but
yeah, it is all gearing up for a changeover. Like whatever season they get to, I'm going to say probably season 5, maybe 6 if we're lucky, and it'll be like a changeover at the end, and you'll have the full. Season 4 will introduce Bones, season 5 will introduce Sulu or whatever, and they'll slowly integrate. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's one of those things where it's like I think I'm probably a bit more like like a little bit less lukewarm than you guys are on Paul Wesley, but it's like a case of I'm here for Anson Mount. That's what we're all here for.
And Anson Mount, for Christina Chong, for Celia Gooding,
Rebecca Romaine.
Romaine. I want to see her in command. That has been my one little bugbear of Strange New Worlds. Like I want to see number 1 in command, being the first officer. But I'm pretty sure I actually won't get my wish. But there you are.
Dude, they're all
season
good.
3, you never know.
Ethan made us forget about Quintel. Babs, I was calling it from like episode 2. I knew we were going to get some more Babs, and who did it fucking delivered. Like, everyone has nailed it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll finally get that Ortegas episode. We were promised.
We're due. We're well overdue.
Yeah.
They do seem... They seem pretty self-aware, I'll say, for showrunners. There's some series where like they're so disconnected from their fans. I don't think that's the case here. I think they understand. I think they understand the score.
You should see the Halo fandom right now, and their show, season 2 has just been, it's been cancelled, and like the showrunner came out and went, "I've never actually played the games, and to be honest, we're not going to use any of the source material." I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing here?
I mean, like you say that as if Halo hasn't been like a shit franchise since like Halo 4.
Okay,
like,
The Witcher as well. Like you had,
Henry
biggest...
Cavill just quit because he's like they haven't even seen any of the material.
You literally had an actor who was A-list celebrity that was really invested, read all the books, this was his passion project, and you still fucked him over. Like, and all the fans like, oh yeah, there you are. So he's now going to do Warhammer, of all things.
I think it's tier time.
Oh, is it tier time?
Might be tier time, yeah.
Screen.
Time for tier time.
Time for tiers. We need to do some rich, buttery tiering. Can't wait.
Hello. There we go.
Hi. Right, hang on. Let me move that there.
All right, now I forget where we left off last time, so we're just going to do the whole thing again.
Okay. Oh my God, no, we can't. We can't.
That's why yes, we can. So, Star Trek relationships, most of them are romantic, not all of them are. We'll start, I don't know what order this is, and it's not alphabetical. 7 of 9 and Chakotay.
Just D. D. Even worse than D.
Get
just
it out.
Get it
out of my sight.
Just lose it. Maybe a quick fire.
I say S, so it averages out to B.
No, you are not standing.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that. I know.
Actually, I had it. I should have prepared it. I had a little snippet saved that I read once on the stream. Some guy broke it down why they're actually great pairing, and why Chakotay represents safety for her, and that actually it's a very good point. So
yes, and none of that was on screen.
I think C.
No,
there's gotta be. There are worse relationship. Are you telling me that Dukat and Kai Wynn is better?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
yes.
fuck off.
It's not a great pairing, but it is engaging.
No.
And it makes more sense than just like, here's 2 characters we haven't thought about for a while. Let's put them together. We need Chakotay to have some development that we get the fuck away.
This is invalidated.
Right.
Chat. No, we need chat to chime in on some of these.
Help us, chat, please. You're our only hope. Titty. Like your neighbour. Tear Neelix, come on.
All right, I'll bow to the crowd.
Okay.
Burnham and Booker.
S. I love these two.
I say A.
I love them.
Let down very slightly from the
That's
finale
the
when he
beach.
goes, he did the cheesy thing and said, "I've always loved you." I was like, no, fuck off. You didn't at first. She punched you in the face. Come on.
What, that's not how most of your relationships start?
I feel like the only time I can stand Burnham is when she's with Booker, so that must say a lot about their relationship.
Well, you like her with Tyler as well. I think you like romantic Burnham. I think that's kind of your thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Steamy Burnham.
Oh, what did you say, Idle?
I said A, but I won't fight it.
Oh, chat says stop pushing C's needs a tier E. I agree. We'll put him down in D.
No, he was talking about.
No, that's what he said. I think A is probably fair.
Oh, I
do
respect
think it's
A.
her best aspect. All right, we have from the Enterprise episode Twilight, Captain Archer and, well, formerly Captain Archer and T'Pol. So it's kind of a one-episode relationship here.
I liked it a lot more because it was done so much more maturely than it was done when they were actually teasing it in the show, like season 1 and 2. And it's like, I'm glad that they were like, no, we'll put this in an alternate universe and we'll do it in a certain way. And we're not going to make it completely explicit because I don't think they kiss at all. It's mostly just like dialogue, really. I would go with a B on this.
They do a great take on it because she's his caretaker, and that's an aspect that we don't see a lot in relationships. They're almost always on like an even keel. But this is something that, is applicable to a lot of relationships, especially as they get older. One of them kind of has to take the lead and care for the other, and that makes it a little more endearing, I feel like, especially since she's the one who doesn't display her emotions, but displays them through taking care of him. I feel like that does add an element of something.
Whenever anyone says even keel, my head just goes Edith Keeler. So now when you said they're on an Edith Keeler, and I don't know why. B for me, I'd say. B for me is.
Yeah, I go with B.
It's okay.
It's good. So much better than it had any right to be, considering how much they were pushing it in the early.
Chat says
when we get
C,
to
but I think we're all with B. It was one episode.
Could not
all
have
right.
been
Bashir and Garrick.
S tier.
Yes. Come on.
So good. Sorry, my voice is breaking up.
These fucking homosexuals.
Okay.
Yes, S tier.
Moving on. Data and Jordy.
Oh, come on, S. I love these two. They're so cute.
I think so. I think it's a better.
When I stroke my
prefer it to
beard,
Garrick and
thusly.
Bashir.
Yes. Yeah.
Do they ever snipe at each other? Not much.
No,
Not
Geordie
really.
sometimes takes it to Data once in a while, and he says, "You didn't,
Every now, yeah.
Yeah, I think he definitely says like your programming
Well.
couldn't account for this, and this is what you need to learn." Like on a...
He's such a good straight man. Like I'd
Yeah.
take shots at him too. It'd be too much fun not to.
Do you guys remember that scene in what is it? The Next Phase, where like Ro and Geordie are on the little shuttlecraft, and they seem to Worf and Data talk about it. And it's
Very
like the way
good.
that like Data talks about Geordie, and then like Ro just looks at Geordie, and Geordie's just like got this smile on his face. Like it's so fucking cute.
Rose
Their
is like,
love is evident.
Is this what it's like to have friends? I saw a gifted. I don't know if you ever watched Scrubs. And someone was just like, "Why can't I ever have the same kind of friendship that JD and Turk have?" Like,
Oh,
a
dude, guy love. Yeah. Nothing really gay about it.
No.
Get that out of there.
All right. Don't laugh, but Tasha Yar and Data. And I intentionally picked this image, which I don't even know if that's from yesterday's Enterprise.
Yeah.
So you know what's weird about this relationship is that like it became a lot more poignant after she died.
Yeah. I wish it had more time.
I heard someone said recently, it may have even been one of you, that they hate how Data's always pulling out the little holoprogram of Yar as if.
Oh, I like that. I think
as if that would actually mean something to him in later years. And
That sounds like a
I don't
Dan
know.
or Frank comment. I wish it had more time. I wish we had more moments to expand on, especially with the yesterday's Enterprise. Like, okay, they had one brief fling when everyone was drunk on like space stuff, and all of a sudden that matters in yesterday's Enterprise, where they exchange a look, and it means a lot to Data. But so technically does the Borg Queen. So she was the straight man, the other one was the kink.
Okay.
I don't like it in general. I think it's fine, but
I think it's a C. I think it escapes being awful by the fact that they do make it a part of his storyline and it has actual emotional output. But like the actual relationship they have is just like ridiculous and not played very well, considering the fact that Tasha is a canonical sexual assault survivor. Like it's not great that the only time you see her have sex on screen is kind of unwillingly. Like if you think about it,
we reviewed that episode, and to get Data in the mood, she talks about her childhood rape. And it uses that word, and then they get busy, and I'm like, oh, right, season 1, Gene Roddenberry. But yeah,
like it's a testament to how well they play.
Now I kind of want to put it in D after I remember that.
Well, I was just saying, like this literally it's a testament to how well they play it in later seasons. I don't immediately see it and go, ugh.
Okay, the aforementioned Ducat and Win.
Oh, they're funny. This has got to be a B or at least.
I'm thinking more C. It was the low point of DS9 season 7 for me.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Ducat. I feel like Ducat.
Like
Ducat could not have improved. Like he was literally Satan at one point. In season 7, he had his big cult of followers worshiping him. He was like peak evil, and I feel like they brought him down 2 notches just to go hang out with someone. They kind of took his edge off. I really didn't.
But the
like
point
that
is, like
storyline.
at one point, he admits, "I am Girl Ducat," to her.
Yeah, and she doesn't even care. She gets mildly upset for about 30 minutes.
But I feel like that ruins her character, because we love hating on Kai Wynn, who is the essential conservative of the, malicious conservative of the Bajoran movement. But at her base level isn't completely evil that she would sleep with the person that murdered her, most of her race. I feel this kind of it's kind of like the worst part, that it undoes a lot of that just to serve. She serves her own needs. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it differently than that. But I feel like that it kind of degrades the character of Kai Wynn, who is supposed to be a deplorable character, into a little bit too stupid when she's not stupid.
Counterpoint, it's funny. I'm not going to fight for this relationship. It is stupid and it does devalue both the characters, but I think it's funny.
I'll go D. So I say D, but I won't. Tiebreaker order.
All right, Chat's been quiet. I'll say D. Yeah, it was not
fair
good.
enough.
Speaking of not good, Garrick and the half his age Zial.
Oh, D, get that the fuck out. Even Andrew Robertson hated that shit. No, get that out of here.
Here's my mortal enemy's daughter. I don't really... I'm more interested
I think
in
that's the reason he wanted to
bay.
do it, but...
I will say I thought it was a good vessel to show how lonely he was for companionship. Yeah. But then even he realizes it's wrong and kind of cuts it off.
Yeah.
So it didn't make me think less of him. I think the fact that he caught that himself and pivoted away.
He doesn't have like a whole thing of like, he's just like, no, I'm going to nip this in the bud. This is a bad idea.
I think it did serve to humanize, to Cardassianize him, because he feels loneliness. So
yeah. Well, I think I'm probably like transferring some of my feelings on how Robinson.
It is gross, though.
But yeah, it is.
It is gross.
It is.
What are you thinking? C, D?
C.
Surprise A.
D.
No,
D.
fuck no. I won't fight D.
D. All right.
It's not. Yeah.
Chakotay and Janeway.
Wait, they had a relationship? Did they? Did
Can
they?
you not see
they did.
Like shattered
resolutions?
Shattered resolutions. Yeah.
Prodigy.
They play it.
I haven't
seen that.
I've seen enough of it to know that she wants to get Chakotay back. I remember that.
I think Beltran's at his best opposite Mulgrew.
Yeah, agreed. That's where Scorpion gets a lot of its juice from. I would say A, actually. I think this is easily their best relationship, apart from my fanfic ones, yes.
Apart from lesbotic.
Let me just head to AO3.
7 and Janeway. Lesbicious 7 and Janeway.
Listen,
there's a fusion card for the Timelines fans.
Lesbicious.
Idle, how are we doing in A?
I think A is fine. A is fine for me. Yeah, I can see that.
Barile, mirror or otherwise, and Kira. We'll go non-mirror Barile.
Non-mirror Barile is so fucking boring. He's like white toast of people. Like he has. Like,
I mean, I'm gonna use this the same logic that Otto brought up for Chakotay and Seven, where it's like he represents safety for a woman who has canonically lived through a Holocaust.
I get that.
Essentially,
I get that. But
also, he's like a priest and sleeping with one of his parishioners, so that's a little
but
bit
literally everyone on Bajor believes in the prophets.
he's got to repopulate.
Very few exceptions.
When there's low population, even the Catholic Church opens the doors and goes, "Let's do it."
Yeah, also, like, I'd say, like, this is a thing that changes depending on your religion. Like, only certain religions really, like, are like, oh, you can't have any relationships. Like, most religions are fine with that.
Yeah, Jedi's not a real religion.
No, I'm not talking about the institutional aspects. I'm talking about she looks to him personally for religious guidance, and then he worms his way into her bed. Maybe worms is a little strong, but the fact that there's like a mentor-mentee dynamic, and then he ends up sleeping with her, yeah.
Have you ever watched
Thumbs down for me.
You ever watched The Graduate?
Once.
I think it's a C. I think it's fine. I'm not gonna like fight for it, but I think it's a completely fine relationship.
I think he's just boring as fuck. He's so dull.
All right.
He was more engaging when he had half his brain removed.
Here's a much better one: Kira and Mirror Kira.
Do you want my answer on
let's let the gay man decide this one.
I feel like Prime Kira almost relented. She was
almost.
She was thinking about it.
I think we have to give it an A because it is iconic and it is interesting.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'm.
Buddha says A. Namer says D. Oh, S.
Dude, you're asking like a load of straight guys if they like the lesbian relationship. Like, come on.
I will say, actually, they did great job blocking that, because if you watch that particular scene where I took the image from, the eye lines are spot on. They did a really good job of matching the stand-ins and whatnot. So
yeah,
no, it's not Terminator. That's what's her name's twin sister.
Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Ashara?
Ashara. Oh my god.
And yeah,
I'll go with A. It's not legendary. It was one episode or two episodes,
but everyone remembers it.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
iconic.
speaking of legend, Captain James T. Kirk and Carol Marcus.
S.
Get it up there. Put it up.
S. I've talked previously about how much the scene that you've taken that screen cap means to me. It was one of my favorite relationships in all of Star Trek. I'm completely biased.
Very good. It shows so much for both their characters. Like that, like Kirk. You know, okay, he has been wandering space for so long. He's left these relationships behind, but they still mean something that speaks to his character and that her character and the attitude of like 23rd century human beings that they can adapt to, this way of life and still have children and like that kind of attitude and. That they're not.
And it humanizes them both.
They're not exes.
They're not perfect.
They're not like exes where they're like resentful. Like they are just like, okay, yeah, we're not.
There's a lot of softness to the way they interact with each other.
Absolutely.
I think it's tremendously overrated. Dude, how many times in 100 TOS episodes did he pause banging a green girl and go, I really miss Carol Marcus? He never thought about her. Not once. They tacked it onto a movie to try to give it some stakes.
Get out of it.
It's like a C for me. I know you guys love it, but...
I'm over it.
It humanizes Kirk a lot more. It takes him away from being the playboy.
Are you pulling your veto card, Stars? Are you using it?
Yes, I actually am. I will always use my veto card for something that is Wrath of Khan or Carol Marcus related.
All right.
Man, I've got to think about it.
Formative.
I'll give you that one.
Right.
Ooh, I could move Chakotay up to S tier. All right.
If you want to use it for that, that's certainly a use of it.
La'an and Paul Wesley's Kirk in Season 2 of Strange New Worlds.
It's tragic. Like, god damn it. Like, she is such a hard ass for the entirety of Season 1 and Season 2. Like, and then you get to this one person who is not even real Kirk. It's an alternate Kirk who breaks through her emotional core straight away and leaves her a ruined mess by the end of the episode where she discovers she has feelings. Holy shit, S tier.
And not mention it gives us like one of the best songs in the musical episode. Like, how would that feel? Like, come on, that song's incredible.
Get
out of here.
But no, I feel like it's. Oh fuck! I forgot my point. I was going to say you distracted me with talking about Subspace Rhapsody.
I put it in B. I mean, the initial
I'll
episode
be okay with B.
It's so
the episode
broiled garbage. It's just hot ass.
It would be
It's not
nothing if it
good.
weren't for Christina Chong.
Yeah,
like,
I give it a 1.5. It'd be a negative 1.5 if not for these two. So it was my favorite bit of Wesley's when he's with her doing stuff. And
It was
she's
just
very
interesting
good.
seeing through
The scene at the
episode.
end.
Yeah, that was
where she's just
Fuck,
devastated.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's legendary enough to be a.
No, I think
Look,
B's fine. B is
Captain
fine.
First Officer, hot lesbian action. It's not that good. It's B.
Yeah, I'm okay with B. I'm okay with B.
I am
It's-
not right.
chances
Like, to
A
put this
and
in, A is fine because, like, I put this in perspective view. I hate soppy romance stuff like that. I have no emotional core. I am pretty much dead inside. This moved me.
That's true. We'll bow to chat. Chat says A, so A it is.
All right, fair enough. I'll allow
An
it.
underrated pairing, Loaxana Troy.
Oh,
I love
and
these
Oh,
two.
so good. Esther. They're so fun together.
I think it's kind of got to be S. I love
Really?
these two. I actually love them.
It's just fun all the way through, and then you have the moment where it just get, when she has to struggle.
It
with
becomes
another-
real for him.
It becomes really real, and becomes real for both of them when she has, she's married to someone, or being arranged to be married to someone, and
They
she
get to
tries
let their
fight it.
shields down around each other, and you don't get to see that particularly often with these two.
You don't
Like,
see it with Loaxana
yeah,
at all, but Odo does it
like
sometimes.
Dark
with
Page in this,
Kira.
pretty much.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is the first time you see Loaxana. When she takes off the wig in the turbo lift, like it's really good.
That,
and they
and then-
develop it.
What's the line she gives where, like,
I'll learn how to swim.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
that
come
was
on.
pretty.
Yeah.
I think S is a little strong.
No, I
but
love it.
Namer
Yeah.
says S.
I say
you
S.
guys both love it. All right. Bashir and Miles Edward
Sorry,
O'Brien.
what did you say? Bashir.
Bashir.
Bashir. Sidney.
Bashir.
That's great.
This is kind of iconic.
Yeah.
Like, this is the bromance, I think, of DS9. I think it's got to be an S.
This inspired Turk and JD.
Hold on. I thought Bashir and Garrick were the bromance of DS9.
That's a romance.
No.
This is a
Right.
romance.
So Bashir. Sorry, O'Brien is Bashir's husband. Garrick is Bashir's bit on the side.
Yes.
I rewatched
Now
some
we
of
can explain
season
it for you.
7. Actually, I rewatched the finale. They had that little, the little toy model in O'Brien's room.
the Alamo, yeah.
Yeah, and then they talk about, like, he's leaving the station, and Bashir's like, I know what you're gonna say. Of course you can move the model into my room. Like, it was such a slice of life relationship that really, for all the laudables that DS9 gets for their character stuff, I think it's the little stuff that,
Yeah.
not everything needs to be duet and have a great, denouement.
dance,
Sometimes it's just the day-to-day stuff.
The World War II flying, the Alamo, stuff like that.
Why can't she be more like you? You mean a man?
yeah.
Oh no! One of my favorite memes is just like Keiko going like, "Oh yeah, this is my husband Miles O'Brien, and this is Miles's boyfriend Bashir, and this is Bashir's boyfriend Garrick."
Yeah, and then it's like I think it adds like Kira as well because you have that weird moment between
Oh,
Kira
yeah, of
and
course,
O'Brien
yeah.
where they kind of have the hots for each other when like she's being the surrogate, and Keiko seems really into it.
Oh yeah, she's got a kink there, definitely.
Speaking of Keiko and Miles Edward O'Brien,
I like these two.
Do you?
It's underrated. I do.
I think the writing does her kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Like they set her up to be the antagonist of a character that people like, but she does have her points along the way, and she's kind of dragged along through space by
You know
Miles'
what?
job. So
I'm going to say something that is going to be controversial. I think that a lot of people's thoughts on Keiko and Miles may or may not be colored by the fact that they are married men who do not like their wives. Both in the fandom and in the writing room.
Wow, that is brave. That is very brave. Just to clarify, I love my wife. There we are. So there is something there. I feel like the thing I like about Keiko and O'Brien is you have this meld of cultures and they embrace that. I mean, you get this, they sit down for dinner and they're having sushi, or like, they've got this Asian orientated like.
Doesn't always go well, but it happens.
But no, and then they have like O'Brien sort of Irish.
Japanese wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. That was cute.
But they don't ignore O'Brien's side as well, and that's a nice part of their relationship. She definitely has had a bit of a trend of being very overbearing, and it hasn't been represented well on screen.
But then you have that moment in Rivals where she kisses the headband. Yeah, you and
That's
I know.
The high point.
Yeah.
The low
Kick his
point
butt.
was
Yeah.
her as a child in Rascals. And everyone watching is like, oh my God, are they going to sleep together? And they're about to turn off the channel because it's so gross.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that episode could have done without that scene. I know why they.
Yeah.
I know why. They did
I
it,
think
but-
B. I like these two.
Can we? Yeah, B's fine for me. Can we have another conversation as well about like if you were to do Rascals again, who would you choose? But let's do that another time. Because no. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah,
That's a conversation. Well, that's the segment for Trek, isn't it? Like
That's
where
true,
it's
that's
you do this with another cast.
Yeah.
Narek and Narissa D tier.
Yeah,
Moving on.
I agree.
Odo
Yeah.
and
fine.
Odo and the Founder.
Oh, they're so toxic.
I think.
Oh,
I
they're
kinda
so
fucking hate it.
toxic.
I kind of really
I
hate
hate
it.
it, but it
It
is
turns
engaging.
Odo into the biggest moron in all the galaxies. when
Yeah,
he's
he
around
is stupid
her.
in it. I can see B.
That Cajun pussy.
B.
B. I can see B. But
You
I
just
think
validated
D.
all your future opinions with a B tier.
Yeah, I think D. I don't like these two together. They
Oh,
give me the
no,
ick.
but-
They're meant to. They're meant to.
But then he is, it is his culture. She's enticing him with the culture and is corrupting. Like, imagine if you're a human. Among
Yeah, it's a
aliens.
well-written relationship, but I hate it.
I hate
He
it, but you
sells
should
out
because
Kira.
you hate it doesn't mean like Kai Wynn and actually no, they're D tier. No, never mind. Ignore that. You hate it,
Dude,
but
he
it's
sells
engaging
out.
to watch,
He
and it
sells
makes
out his
sense.
best friend and love Kira and the entire Federation almost for some changeling OC. It's a terrible character assassination of Odo.
Some
B
shapeshifty.
tier. Get out of here.
All
I
right,
gotta
fine.
workshop
I'm
that
not
one.
going to fight it. I won't use my veto here.
I say all right. I say D. Booter says C.
Namer says, with all due respect, you have no idea what it's like to completely mix your juices with another being.
That's what
That's
you
true.
think.
It might be good.
Sounds like someone that's never been laid. Okay.
It might be better than warm egg yolks. You know. All right. What do we?
All right, fine.
D,
Put it
I
D.
say D.
I won't fight.
Give me the ick.
I think there's
Like,
some
give me the
aspects
ick.
of there.
Speaking of a much better one, Kira and Odo.
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 He's a right
Just doing
Odo.
this on purpose now. I think they're okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not 100% on it.
Really?
I feel like
Yeah.
the show was more in on them than I was. I think I like them a lot, but I don't know. You know what the problem is? The problem is that they completely sidestep the resolution for him selling everyone out, and then they just have that talk in the closet, and then you just they skip it.
Yeah.
They skip that conversation, and it's like, guys, that's
I can
fucking
kind of,
cowardice.
No, see, I can kind of understand that if she's that into him, she can kind of goes like, well, I can overlook this because I really like you. You know, I can understand feelings over
His fascist tendencies come out every now and then and give it. It's so heartfelt.
which is okay. She's Bajoran, but that is a fundamental fact of human nature: is the fact that we are not perfect, or people are not perfect beings. You know,
I thought you were about to say that fascism is a.
No, I'm not going there. I am not 100% on it. I feel like okay, they didn't get together till fairly late.
So, tell me who on the station would have been better for her than Odo? Because I don't think there is someone.
Jadzia.
Yeah. Okay. Jadzio and everyone is an applicable thing.
Well, yes, I've read that fanfic as well.
I don't know. I think Kira's like it's a weird pairing with her and Odo because they have such a history, and I feel like maybe they have too much history that it doesn't make sense because he was.
I only write X-Men fanfic. That's different.
Yeah, because he was the security guard when she was on Terok Nor working as part of the Resistance, and I feel like okay, the DS9 stuff was really only 6 years before they got together, and that kind of doesn't excuse the last 20. It's okay. It works because they make it work, but it's not my favorite.
Namer hates it entirely.
I'll go with the B.
You say B.
B. Yeah,
I don't love it. I don't hate it.
I probably would have said A, but I think B is fine. And
I
Buddha
think
said
my
A,
favorite
so-
moment is was it Crossfire, where they have the whole thing about the belt and you get to see how much it's affecting Odo, and I like Heart of Stone as well. But it's
what
I don't
about
know.
the sex scene? Did you like that when he turns into just glittery lights around her?
I mean, Star Trek, you're allowed to do weird things.
Well, they weren't going to morph him into what she really would have used him for. So,
Brile! Just like, can you just turn into Brile, please? That'll just make everything better.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Dude, changeling cuckold category on Pornhub.
We need to move on.
No, just
turn into X's.
Brile, but please remove half
no.
Oh
God.
Can you turn into Rom? Rom? Well, you want me to turn into Rom?
So Rom's a stud, okay?
Hey,
who wants us to delete the VOD?
Have you got Rob and Lisa on this list? Like, that's S tier for me.
Computer, delete this entire personal log. Where were we at B? All right, we better move on. Picard and Nella Darren.
It's a B. I like them. They're cute. They're mature. I like them.
It's a very British relationship.
It is. It is.
That's what we do. We awkwardly stand around in corridors playing musical instruments until one of us says, "Do you want to come to my quarters?"
So I've talked about Patrick Stewart and Famke. What is that episode? Perfect Mate.
Perfect Mate. Yeah.
I talked about that scene at the end with him and Crusher, where he talks about how he almost fell for it and kind of wishes he could, and it is so good. But there's also the scene at the end of this one where he talks to Nella and he goes, you know, I put you in jeopardy, and I realized at that moment I could never do that again. So you're off the ship, he says. And it's a really good moment because he's like, he just knows he can't.
I mean, the privilege
like, he
of
loves
Captain,
her so much.
You can bang a crew member and then just go like, actually, it's not working out. Can you go transfer, please? I know this is like the prestigious, like the Enterprise is like the shit, but actually, you know, you're going to the hood.
Yeah, it does reflect badly on Picard, that bit.
Well, he wasn't going to quit, so someone had to.
I'm not going to transfer.
Oh, no. Well, I feel gross about that one.
B's fine. B is fine. It was fun.
B is fine.
I like the musical part in the Jeffries tubes. That was cool.
Yeah, it's really a relationship of three parts though, because you've got like Picard, you've got Darren, and then you've got the third person playing Picard's flute playing hands.
How old is Nella Darren supposed to be? Because I feel like she was old enough to be a match for him. I don't think that was.
Yeah, I think
she felt
right.
mature.
Yeah, she was around.
She felt like 40s to me.
Yeah.
I thought.
Okay.
And he was 40s, even though he looks like he's 55.
Yeah.
But
when was she born?
anyways, while you're looking that up, another Picard and Vosh.
It's all right.
I think they're pretty damn juicy together.
It's definitely not S.
I think the chemistry is there, and the fact that he actually fell for her in real life is an interesting bit of Trek trivia.
Yeah, they did have chemistry. I can't deny that. So it's a 12-year age gap between Darren and things, which is not egregious, honestly.
Well, in the future, that's like 2 years.
Also, she was like 40 in that episode. Like, she was born in 1952. So, like,
fine.
I'm sorry, but this is like those guys. Like, oh, there's an age gap. They're fucking 40 and 50.
Yeah,
fuck off. They're
yeah.
All
adults. Stop
right, calm
infantilizing people. God damn
That's
it.
actually my dad.
No one's ever cared this much about Nella Darren.
I have.
All right, Picard and Vosh. Chat says A and A.
I say B. It was fun.
I think for me, it's a B. I don't know.
What
There
about
was
me
just
and
a
Charlie?
Q and Vash
that's an S tier,
is different.
easy.
S tier.
Yeah.
Q and Vash is different.
I think it's A. I think it's a pretty
Oh no,
solid
I'm not
A.
going to fight on it. It's just, it never
I
really
won't
did
fight on
anything
it
for me.
I
But
mean,
that's because
they brought her back.
Yeah.
It was so good that they brought her back. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Twice.
I mean, you're talking to like a hardcore like Beverly Crusher and Picard fan, like so you know.
Oh shit, Crusher
All
combo
right.
here?
Nice. Oh, your
Pike
favorite.
and Battelle, which dude, I can't get enough of this. Like,
This is a private
right in my
conversation.
veins.
It's two mature Starfleet captains engaging with each other. Like, it's really good. Like, it's.
I do like him a lot.
We haven't
yeah.
had this kind of relationship, actually. We haven't had two captains of Starfleet on equal terms. Like, someone that's like, we put Pike on a pedestal, and pretty righteously too. We've got someone that's equal to him, that's talking down to him, like, and putting him in his place when he does fuck up. Like, because Pike's not great at relationships. Like, as we determined during, like, when they.
It's a nice weakness for him. Yeah,
yeah,
that he's
and that's
kinda
great. He
not
has
there.
his moments of awkwardness. Like, and I still think that.
Yeah,
but-
the closest you get is Archer and Hernandez.
Hernandez. Yeah, that's a good analog.
And I like that as well. So I think maybe I had to give this at least an A. I think at least.
I think A. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Hopefully she survives because I like Patel.
So it launches the entire series. They start with those two together. It is the core, I think, of Ad Astra Prospera, where. Well, okay, maybe not the core. It's B level, but it's very good. Where she plays the Riker in Measure of a Man, where she doesn't want to do the job, she has to do the job.
Yeah.
And she kind of almost pulls rank. She kind of calls Pike out and says, "You can't do this. You have to sit this one out." And he respects that. What is it? Episode 3 of season 2, I think, or no, episode 4, where they beam down the planet. Everyone forgets they turn dumb or whatever, but he has the little medallion that she gave him.
Yeah.
And and that's what pulls them through. It's the big cliffhanger at the end of season 2. I feel like their relationship does a lot of heavy lifting, kind of underrated
it's good
throughout.
Because he's
2 seasons.
They start off season 1 with him being a bit of a Kirk, because he's sleeps with a woman from the Liftoff's Suffering Can't Reach planet. Yes, planets are named by their episode titles now. They're not exactly a monogamous couple. They are, he is obviously, going around, and that's fine. Imagine she's doing much the same, but they do seem to have this bit of a tie. So I don't know. I would say A. I'm enjoying it. I want to see more to make it an S.
It depends on how it lands in season 3, and then I could potentially go.
Hold on. We're right next to one episode of Loxon and Odo, which we have an S, but 2 seasons isn't enough. Whatever. 2 seasons isn't enough. 2 episodes is.
Stop. She doesn't eat his food. He made her pasta, and she just left it. Like, that's not love.
Author, do you want to use your veto?
Well, hold on. I gotta see who's left. Keep vamping. I might. I don't.
I really do like them, but I feel like my ultimate feelings on this are very dependent on how season 3 goes. I'm liking where it's going so far, and I really like how they're developing Patel's character.
They would have to do a complete character assassination episode by someone that hasn't actually watched the series for this to not work. But yeah.
No, it's S. Fuck you guys. All right.
All right.
Is that your veto? I guess that sounds like a veto to
me. Namer says he wouldn't put an S here. Fuck you guys. It's so an S. All right.
Is Quark it veto?
And
is that the veto?
Quark and
he's not
I might later. I'll save it. We'll see. I can come back to it. Quark and Grilka.
This is fun.
Oh, I like this one. This is fun. This, the fact that she comes back and they've still got juice and they still like each other in the whole
actually
back in
they're
the
fiery.
Spaces,
They're fiery later on. That's more exciting because they worked it all out. And like Worf, and it's through the perspective of Worf is just like, hang on, are these two got a weird thing going on? And like, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm sorry. A at least. I do really like them. Yeah. I kind of wish we'd gotten more of it.
Nothing for me.
I wish we had gotten more of it.
I never feel like he's actually in love during these episodes. I feel like he wants to acquire something.
No, this is sexual tension.
Quark has a thing for powerful women. He loves Kira for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
A.
Women that can stand them through.
And the chat says Plymene with an S, so you can't fight that.
Yeah, but it's Namer. Who cares?
I thought you wanted him on this show.
Yeah, he should have come on, and then I'd have to listen to what he said. All right. I think it averages out. S, A, and C probably averages out to an A. So
yes, it probably does.
All right. Here's a black sheep relationship. Riker and Ro from the episode Conundrum. I feel like this dude, both these characters, I adore, and I would have loved to have seen them try something. They scrape shields in real life or in the show, in the Prime show. Yeah, real life. I'm in hardcore, guys. They have good antagonism. They're both hot, right? We can agree they're both hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
We only see like 25 minutes of it, but I want more. I really want more.
It kind of pays off in the next phase as well. We see a little bit of the Riker Ro stuff there too.
Actually, we see it in Preemptive Strike, the penultimate episode, where he goes back on the shuttle with her. She turns on and pulls out a phaser, and he gives some really good line reads there at the end, where he's so long, Ro. He says, Like he's a little bit hurt, but he can tell that that's her destiny.
You can tell what it means to her. Yeah. I think either a B or an A. I feel I wanted more of it. I really wanted more.
I think B.
Put it above Grilka.
Well, okay. No, it's not as good. It's
Well,
not as good as
give me.
Grilka.
All right, he says B. I say A. Stars, you break the tie.
I'm
going to the toilet while you're breaking the tie.
You're going to break something else in a moment.
The universe will
A.
end if you're just all right.
A. I'm going with A. I think these characters together, like alone, are just like some of my favorites in TNG, and like together, like they would have been interesting. Like, it would have been hard to negotiate the rank issue, but yeah.
All right, Triker, Troy and Riker.
It's got to be S tier, man. It's the OTP. It's the
So-
one true.
I mean,
It's
it's
like
so
doing
tough.
something to your neck.
How much do you want them to be together?
A lot. Like they're very cute and comfortable together. They are good for each other. They're healing for each other. Like that was one of the best emotional calls of Picard season 3. Was like hearing that their relationship was like a bit rocky. It's like I was genuinely concerned.
I feel like they work better as exes that are best friends. I feel like they do so well in that role. Like I think of Second Chances. I think of him helping her through her commander's exam, where it's like he'll always be there for her, she'll always be there for him, but it just never worked. And you know, it's possible after 20 years that it clicks, and then they're like, all right, it was meant to be. But I just feel like they should have stuck with them as really good friend ex-lovers. We're doing Troy and Riker.
But Picard season 1 and everything with the Thaddeus and Kestra. And like the bunny corn sausage pizzas, like come on, man, that's domestic bliss.
I'm not going to say it's S. It's a comfortable A. They have a comfortable relationship that you saw coming.
Well, hold on. We're doing relationships, not necessarily romances, right? So does that make it S tier relationship?
Maybe, actually, because they are actually throughout Next Generation, not counting the stuff afterwards where they do actually hook up again. But throughout Next Generation, they do address that, yes, we were a couple, and they are professional together, with the hints of like the playful relationship that they do have. Yeah, maybe I could see yes.
I think they're utterly iconic. Honestly, I love them, and like you picked the right picture for them because they're very very.
Oh
cute
yeah,
in
the
this
Insurrection one, yeah.
Yeah.
Was I doing something to your neck?
I never kissed you with a beard before.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a lie. That's a lie. Menage a trois.
I kiss you and you say yuck. All right, so you both
Come
say
on.
S.
They've got the
I'll go
chemistry,
S.
they've got the juice, and like I love how much of season. Every time they're on screen together, you can tell they want to be together. You can tell they have great chemistry. And I mention we listened to that commentary, and like they're very cute, like together in real life, which I feel like adds.
All right, Rom and Lita.
S.
S tier. Move on.
If you don't do S tier, I'm using my veto.
All right, well, I think it's a garbage relationship, so I ain't going S.
Really?
So if you want to use your veto,
What?
I don't like it at all.
Why?
It's so cute. It's so unexpected as well, and it
No, it's like the relationship you write for the fat incel neckbeards that you know are going to buy a video game.
No, Rom is not.
So they can
that.
have a little bit of fantasy role play. That's what I feel like this is.
No, because
for.
Rom is not that. Rom is they already established him to have hidden depths.
Rom is a
very
good
early.
heart.
Yeah, and he's a great engineer, and I think they
And he's
they
a
play.
single dad who's making it work, and he's like being there for his son. Like, guess what, women?
And it enhances Lita as well, because Lita previously was always played to be like,
Well-
oh, I'm seeing Bashir and things like that. And, like, you know, her seeing, like, oh, I'm actually attracted to Rom. Like, everyone goes, like, really, Rom? But then you realise that's more, gives
You
her
see
more
all
a
his
human...
positive qualities.
Yeah, it gives her a positive quality, the fact that she can see things that appeal to her rather than the cultural mainstays. S tier, I'm
All right.
using my veto. For
You've
Rom.
used your veto, so there you go.
There you go.
Rutherford and Tendi.
That's a great... Yeah. You guys have not watched the more... like, there's some stuff that happens at the end of season 4. It's S tier. Like, they are so fun together. They never do the romance thing. It's great.
Well, if we're talking about them just purely as friends, like the ultimate bros.
Relationships.
There's a reason why they're just like it's fucking Mariner and Boimler, and then it's Tendi and it's Rutherford. There's a reason for that. They just have the right energies. I love them. S tier.
It is S tier for me as well. Like they are great.
So are they? You think they're written to be pair and pair, or you think it just kind of
They do mix it up.
Don't they even do an episode about that? Yeah.
Well, right, but I'm saying, do you think that was from the beginning planned that way, or do you think just after a few episodes,
I
like,
feel like
we
it
kind of like
has-
this energy?
They definitely did have an episode that sort of turned around with they basically pointed to everyone who was shipping like, oh, well, they should be a couple, and they went, okay, we'll do them as an episode where they pretend to be a couple, and then go like, no, this doesn't work, and it's quite funny. So,
What are you saying? Well, give me a letter.
I say yes. Like it's.
Yeah, I'm S as well.
I say
Yeah.
it's iconic.
Oh,
you need to watch, guys. Watch 4 and 5 of Lower Decks. Like there's more of that. It's good.
Disgusting. Right, Namer seems to like it too. It's fine. It's not an S tier,
It's
dude. S is
absolutely
like the best possible.
It's the best. It is the best. It's one of the best relationships in Star Trek. These are good S.
No.
These are good S picks. I'm happy with them.
No,
I'm co-signing with him. Yeah.
you guys are cracked. All right, Sarek and TOS Amanda Grayson, specifically
TOS
this one.
Amanda.
Toss Amanda.
There's a lot of misogyny here.
Toss me.
Well, I mean, it's 67 or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
I do really like Jane White, and I like especially what she does in Voyage Home. I like her role in that. Why I don't know why they don't have like Sarek and Amanda on screen together in Voyage Home. They're always separate in that, which is a bit odd.
I forgot she was in it, to be honest.
Yeah, because she has the whole thing with like how do you feel?
That's the computer. How do you feel?
Actually, I have to say the Voyage.
Yeah, and
Home
then
is
she
probably
comes in and has to explain the conversation to him. Yeah.
I think Voyage
I
Home
thought,
is
you,
like
I
my
thought you were saying
second-
she voiced the computer for that one. I'm like, really? That's a bit of trivia.
No, not quite.
I see.
We were very inside. Yeah, I think B
she
is
does.
fine.
She does temper him because he's kind of an asshole.
He's a massive cunt. Yeah.
But I feel like when they're together, he puts away his asshole tendencies for a little
He
while.
softens. Yeah. I actually like the Discovery version of them a bit more, but yeah.
B, you were saying?
B is fine. Yeah, I'm alright with B.
I kind of ran over Idle on this one.
I'm fine.
If we included Discovery and Strange New Worlds, I feel like I'd up it to an A. Sorry,
All right,
everyone running you over.
Scotty and Uhura.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
with your
D.
made up bullshit
D,
relationship.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's cute,
I want to hear
but
from
like,
Chad
no.
on this one.
Listen, old people are allowed to have sex, but not like this.
I mean, like from a standpoint, I would say it's not a D tier, but it's just not earned at all. It's just come out.
There's no, yeah.
Namer said B and then C, so.
Yeah, but he's also saying D is his E tier. Like, I don't think the man understands letters, so.
Don't think he understands relationship and drama.
He's used to tiering by numbers. This is a foreign concept to him. I tell you, D, but dude,
You know what?
7
They can redeem it.
No,
They can
stop
redeem
that.
it.
Get that
just
back
You
down.
have your
No,
veto.
no,
Just
no.
Veto
listen.
or nothing.
Listen, 7 and Chakotay had like the whole back half of season 7. I
Who else
feel
has got
like
back
they
half
did
this
so much more.
relationship?
They put so much more work into that one, and it makes sense because Paris is paired off. You know, fuck Harry, that's never going to work. Doc was a sleazeball, even though they actually did try that one. Tuvok, actually, I would have liked to have seen Tuvok in
That could
7.
be interesting. Yeah, that could be
He
interesting.
has a wife.
maybe. Yeah, but she won't need to know. Like, come on.
Like this relationship's so bad, they actually wrote her to be a lesbian. Like, come on. They said, no, fuck this Chakotay shit.
No.
There's Bajazil and then there's Raffi. And that actually, funny enough, makes more sense.
All right, speaking of 7 and Doc.
Oh, I love this relationship. This is good.
So, all right, I got to take the lead on this because it is a much beloved fan favorite relationship, and they have a lot of good moments. They also have a lot of sleazebag moments where he's drawing her nude, he's getting drunk and aroused in her body. As we get into the later seasons, as we review them, you're going to be like, wow, I forgot that he did that shitty asshole thing to her or around her. And so I feel like that really dings their
Doc also
relationship
did that to
quite a lot.
Taurus as well. Remember the episode we just watched where he got into
Yeah,
the
he's a
cobbling
doctor,
in her
not
shower.
peeping Tom.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's more a Doc problem, but I do like how they are both trying to discover their humanity, as it were. You know, their being of consciousness, and they kind of enhance each other on the journey forward. Okay, I feel like the Doc sleaze moments are more a Berman writing problem than the Doc characterization, which is a shame.
Yeah, but it is part of the characterization.
It is
yeah.
still a characterization. Yeah, you are right. Maybe A then, with that regards. I do love it though. When like someone to watch over me is
You are my
great.
sunshine. Come on, it is beautiful.
It's not, it's not a relationship apart from Doc's yearnings. Like once while he's sort of opening up to that, but it does become just a case of we are both in this.
I think B, because they have a lot of good moments. They have a lot of moments that should not have existed. I think, or at least severely degrade my opinion of them together. So. I mean, you have the end of Virtuoso where she writes the fan mail, and
that's
moments
lovely,
like that.
Yeah.
Moments like that, it's like, no, you can't put that in
It's
like
cute.
C or you know.
All right,
I
I
like
won't
B.
find- I won't find
I don't know.
I'll
Booter
go
says
with B.
high B.
Yeah, I'll go with B. Yeah, it's a good B, but it's a B.
Namer says the YouTube stream is behind. Do you have a lay on that, or is that
No,
just
it should,
on their
I
end?
think it should be. Maybe
All
I
right.
don't know. Let me look. Investigate.
Captain Benjamin Sisko and Traitor Freighter Captain Cassie Yates.
You can't let that. Okay, you cannot let that divine. This
Just
is
for that
great.
A.
This is I'd say I'm agreeing with that. A solid A. I like Cassidy. It gets developed pretty well in a good time as well. They don't just launch off
Well,
and go
also,
right. Me and my wife now.
Yeah, it has to develop out of Cisco's trauma, and I like Jake's role in playing in it.
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah. Jake encourages him. He says, "Dad, you've got to get over my mum. Like, let's get dating again." Like, and that's great. And even the fact that she's
The whole
revealed
thing
to
with
be
the hat,
Yeah.
like the baseball hats and stuff like that is cute.
even when like he's revealed like she's supplied to the Marquis and things like that, and they literally have the biggest relationship crisis, but they work over it. And even like he goes against the prophets to be with her and things like that. It's a good.
Actually-
it's probably one of the most well developed relationships in.
It's
Star
a very
Trek.
mature. We've been talking about mature relationships. This is very mature.
Oh, it's been
This is
given
a
the time. It's been
relationship
given
that
the
actual
time
adults
as well.
have. Yeah.
So I read that in the original script of What You Leave Behind, Cisco is just going to fuck off with the prophets forever.
Yeah.
And Avery put his foot down. He said, "No, I'm not doing the deadbeat black dad trope of
Yeah,
leaving the
that's
family." He said, "Hey, I'm coming back." So, yeah, dude, if they would have tried to put him with a white woman, he would have quit the show immediately because he is so much about social justice
Positive depictions
and,
of black people. Yeah.
and yeah. And
And
so-
well, good on him as well.
A, is that what we're saying? Booter says A.
It's an extremely good relationship.
I never got the spark. I think it has a lot of good
They're
aspects,
cute.
but I just didn't get the spark with him. All right. Speaking of sparks, oh my God, Marriott Hartley is what a bombshell. Spock and I forget her name. Whoever Marriott Zarabeth, thank you. Whoever Maribeth Hartley plays.
I can't remember this.
You can't give it an S tier. You can't give it an S tier if you don't remember a fucking name.
I remember the actress's name.
I'm sorry.
Love transcends names.
Well, okay, so she's in my favorite episode of Media of all time in that Twilight Zone episode. So, if you recall, we watched that one together.
We did.
That was a good one.
I love Spock
B,
getting
I like
really
it.
jealous of Bones and threatening to murder him because he doesn't want them to be in love forever. Like,
Oh right,
that
yeah,
was pretty
TOS.
funny.
Okay. I was just like, hang on, what?
I feel like you guys will need to watch this more recently to give an opinion on.
I have
on this
watched
one.
the episode, but it was about 8 years ago.
It was a while ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the last time we watched it was together. So, but yeah.
I mean, he feels emotions that he's allowed to because of the situation where like they're de-evolving and he can't hold his emotions in. So they kind of give him an out there. But it is nice to see him let his bull cut down and actually fall for someone.
Yeah, but wasn't that the same thing about what's the name on the planet with the spores that
Oh, yeah, Layla Kalami.
Layla Kalomi, yeah, that's the one. It's pretty much the same kind of
Kalumi.
thing.
Yeah, but dude, Mary Hartley's infinitely better. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I can't agree. I
think a B.
CBA.
I remember it being quite like it's soft. I appreciate it. It's one of the better TOS romances because it is a Spock romance. I think
It is kind of, it is sort of akin to Sarek and Amanda, I feel like.
yeah. There's a nice maturity and a softness. It's Samantha. Oh my god, that's probably what it actually is. called.
America.
Fuck yeah!
Oh no.
All right. Oh, here'll be an interesting one. Thomas Eugene Paris and Belana Torres.
S tier.
Belarus. Piranha.
Torres.
Piranha!
All right, quit portmanteauing for a minute and tear this relationship. Dude, I think of the episode Drive is so good.
Drive's good.
Roxanne knocks it out of the park. That scene with Neelix where she hit, like, her voice is breaking and it's got this like sultry quality. It sounds like she's getting over a cold. She's like, I just want him to be happy. And if this is the path that he wants to go, why stand in his way? And they work through, it is such like, when you talk about couples having been married or whatever, it is very true to form where she's feeling a certain kind of way. He's off chasing his hobbies. And then at the end where he shuts everything down, he goes, I'm showing you my priorities right now. It's a very good episode. And I feel like that kind of clinched it for me as like, all right, this is one of the great Star Trek episodes or Star Trek relationships.
I agree with all of that. I mean, I do think there is a good sort of like one of the few examples of Voyager being serialized in a good way. My only complaint about the relationship is it does seem to start from absolutely nowhere. They definitely have some antagonism or at least some sort of interactions in the early series, but it just suddenly goes to just like, oh yeah, I like you. Okay, let's be a couple now.
Because it starts off in Blood Fever, I think?
No, possibly, but
I think maybe an episode or two before that they had been kind of flirting.
But then that's the Tom Paris kind of like, I'm flirting with everyone. Like, it's hard to do when Tom Paris sees any female on the ship and just go like, I'm just gonna throw my bone into that into that race. But yeah, thank you, Namer.
Namer, for the record, said, "Yeah, that's how relationships start."
Well, hold on, they didn't start married. Is that what you're saying? They started flirting.
Yeah, that's my only complaint.
One of my favorite.
Yeah, I won't fight it. If this could be an S.
One of my favorite Paris and Torres. No, this is an S. One of my favorite Paris and Torres moments is it's one of my favorite episodes in general of Voyager. Is the one where I think it's called Inheritance. Like the one where they find out they're having the baby, they're doing the gene scan, and she wants to remove the Klingon DNA, and she's
so heavy. That is so heavy.
Oh my god. And he has that line where it's like she's like, how are you gonna feel when you have two half Klingons in the house? She's like, I'm gonna love them both. And it's just like, I utterly buy it because they spent so much time developing it. Day of Honor is an absolute classic of an episode as well. Just like such good development for these two. I fucking love them.
Extreme Risk as well.
I think we need to get Abby Summers back on when you do that one because I've watched it a few times recently and I'm like, dude, I'm wholly unqualified to discuss this episode in depth. Like it's so, it's above my pay grade where it's heavy stuff. It's compelling to watch, but you don't want three white dudes who's never given birth to break down that episode. So
yeah.
I've watched someone else give birth. Good. Does that count?
Okay, Worf and Troy. Speaking of a late season romantic edition.
Get out of here with this bullshit.
They have moments of cuteness, but it never really gelled for me. It's just C, I think. It's not offensive, but it's just not great. They haven't got a source.
Yeah, why?
I think the cutest they ever are is in stuff like A Fistful of Datas, when they're more friendly, kind of flirty.
Is Parallels where they first striked that match?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Fistful of Datas is where like you kind of see where like they've got more of an interplay, but I think Parallels is where
but that was platonic, I would say.
It's where someone goes, well actually, an encounter at Farpoint.
There. There's a bit of a flirt, I think, in Fistful of Datas, I think. I personally read it that way, but I think, Parallels is where it first becomes a legitimate possibility, I think, and then it turns into something else.
I say D.
I would be happy with D. I think it's...
I think C, but
it's
I'm
a
not
distraction
from
the main plot, which is Willana.
So memorable. It is.
I was thinking of the portmanteau. All right.
Okay, an even worse relationship: Worf and Jadzia.
Oh no.
S tier.
Not S. Not S. But
No.
Good. A solid A for
Wait,
me.
hold on.
I like
I
it.
was gonna.
She's the only woman who can match his freak. Well, Kayla. Kayla, yeah.
You got Worf and Kayla,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's Wolf and Kayla. Oh no, yeah, she's at the far right there.
Okay, yeah. Good.
That's it.
Good.
You know what? I'll concede to this being an A tier if we can put that one in S tier. But I don't think
All right.
anyone's really going to find me on that.
DS9 episode Change of Heart.
Mm.
Cisco says, I have also issued new orders. You and Jadzia are not to be assigned to a mission on your own ever again. And one last thing. As a man who had a wife, if Jennifer had been lying in that clearing, I wouldn't have left her either. That is the galvanizing, the quintessential moment of Worf and Jadzia, I think, above all others. And I do really love that moment. But I don't like the relationship in general. It's more
Why
like
not?
it's two cliche opposites attract, where I feel like when she's around him, she even goes more over the top with her
Blood oath.
her
Like, no.
outgoing personality and her flirtiness, and he gets even more grumpier. He tries to be like a weather terrorist just because he doesn't like seeing her flirt with another woman.
I love it. I think it's a good example of opposites attract for that reason. I mean, we've already established that Jadzia is a massive Klingon buff because of Curzon and because of Blood Oath. So it makes sense that they would be, when they're dueling with Batleths on the holodeck, I think it was in Looking for the Parmark, that episode with the Grill Kit, which we spoke to earlier. I think it's generally like the most sensical relationship for Worf to have with someone that isn't Kayla, because she is kind of Kayla's energy in Trill form.
We will get to that one too.
Yeah.
So, chat says B and D.
It's
I think
it's an
pretty
A for
rough.
me. It's an A for me. I've used my views.
I'll concede to an A. I think it's really, really good.
I think it's great. I think they definitely have their moments, and like you say, the moment where it sets up for a story where Worf has to choose between his wife and the mission, and that is great. Always, were they married at that point? Was this post season 6? No,
Yeah, they were married.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were married.
Yeah, and I think it definitely sets up a good
So
interspecies dilemma, because they have to work between each species. Like, we don't know much about the Trill species other than Jadzia just being Dax, really. But Worf has to contend with this person that he is attracted to, but has to fight his own culture, like he has always been doing, like his entire life. And he is, it's really interesting to analyze as well, and it's really great to watch as well. I love it.
And I'm going to point out that scene at the end of one little ship, where like he does the little poem and the joke little limerick for it. Come on, that shit's cute as fuck, and you get a full-on smile from Worf. Like, how often do you get to see that man smile?
That is a joke.
I think it's. I think it has similar. It has similar juice to Kira and Odo for me, where they have good moments, but it doesn't quite click. I would say
I think
B.
it clicks more than Kira and Odo for me, but fine.
I say.
Oh, they give it a lot more time and attention, I would say, which does help its cause. Chad said B and D. Oh no! Wait, Namer said A for Worf and Jadzia.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll give you A.
That moment where they're at the end of season 5 and they're having to go to different ships, and like he's posted the Ratara and she's posted the Defiant, and they say we may not see each other soon. Is like, oh shit, that brings upon a horror of what they're actually. It changes stuff in the Star Trek universe a little bit, because it's like, oh no, they're having to go to war, and also they're going to have to split up because that's their duty, and like it's really like, oh no, things are changing here. Oh no, what's going on? That's why season 6 is awesome. But Karen.
Michael Burnham and Ash Ketchum Tyler.
Gotta catch them all. I liked it. It was good.
This is what stuck in my head in terms of season 1. I always think about their relationship being kind of like the port and the storm, where I didn't love a lot of the stuff Burnham was doing, but when those two are together, I'm like, all right, this is kind of saving the season for me. So I did enjoy it.
I think at least a B. I think an action, a argument could be made for an A. I like it a lot. I think I like their energy.
The energy's good. The thing that always gets me with Ash Ketchum, Ash. No, what's his name? Tyler.
Tyler, you fucking ass.
No, he had it right.
Yeah. Is
gotta
just
shake
the
them all.
Oh no, wait, he's actually Vulcan disguise. He's a Klingon.
Yeah.
But
Well,
he's
he
also
has
got that
deserved
bit of
love.
Ash, the original Ash Tyler that comes through, which they kind of allude to but
He's
don't
both,
explain.
He's an amalgam of both of them, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's very weird. I wasn't as sold on
Alright.
it as much as I was on Burnham and Booker. I felt like Burnham and Booker was better.
I do agree
Neighbors-
with that. I do think Burnham Booker's better, but
Namer says C. What say you?
I'd say B.
I would go with a B. I like it a lot, but I think I kind of wish they'd gotten more to do in season 2. I like what they got, but like they were the one good part of that my least favorite season 2 episode, like Point of Light. I hated that episode, but like
What was that?
they're the one good part of it. That's the
B-
one with like all the stuff on the Klingon homeworld.
Oh, I enjoyed that. I think that's all right.
It's the worst episode of that season, I think.
B it is. We will get to season 5's counterpoint in a few weeks, so keep your dial tuned to our channel. Captain Catherine Janeway and Akashic of the Devore Imperium.
Oh, this is
a
Look, counterpoint first of all is a 10 out of 10 episode, all right?
Yes, it is.
And I feel like it all hinges on their relationship. Like, does it really matter that they're teleporting vegetables in the cargo bay? Is that what makes it a 10 out of 10? No, it's these two. You know, it's not Neelix. It's no one else really actually has a significant contribution to that plot except for these two. They build it around just them and they knock it out of the park. It is so good.
My one complaint about this episode, and I do like this one, it's one of the few Voyager ones I actually remember really well, is that Janeway is a little bit dumb in this one, in that when he suddenly turns around and goes like, I'm defecting, and all this kind of stuff, it's like, I'm actually working for the Resistance. She goes, oh yeah, that's fine, cool, let's look into it. And
No, but you're underplaying like what she knows. That's why she
Yeah.
pulls the double cross on him.
Yeah.
She wants to believe him, but she doesn't.
Mm.
That's the entire point of the episode.
yeah, you are, yeah, but yeah, okay.
I think when
right.
we rewatch it, you'll realize she's playing the long game. She's
Yeah.
clever here. I think she
She's
knows
she's
the
doing,
score. She knows.
Yeah. You know what she's doing? Like, you know that bit with Cassidy and Cisco where like he's seeing her off and she's going for the threat and she's saying that she's doing one thing, but she's actually helping in the marquee. And he says, let's just forget all this. Let's go away for a while. Let's take out a holiday or whatever. And like you can see that they both want to do this and they both want to avoid it. And he knows that she's not going to take it, but he has to make the offer. Like that's what Janeway is doing for Kashyyyk there. She doesn't believe that he's really turned a new leaf, but she wants to give him the chance to improve and grow. So,
So
I think this is a high A for me.
Yeah, same.
I won't fight it.
Chad says B, okay with C. Idle said B, yes?
I'm not going to fight anything you guys say.
Okay.
I'm happy with where you
don't have to fight it.
Idle, you should send me all your money. Don't argue.
Oh, good. £3.50 for you then. Hey.
Hey.
All right, since he's abstaining,
I'll
we'll go with
abstain
A.
this one.
Sorry, Booter, but, All right, another Janeway classic. Janeway and Michael Sullivan from
delete the white.
Fairhaven.
I don't remember this episode.
You know what's funny is
All
that
I know-
you guys' accent whenever we talk about Fairhaven is a bit more racist than Fairhaven.
God, Harry.
Yeah, like fuck off. They don't do that. They do that in Up a Long Ladder.
I think more offensive. All I know is this hologram was up in the tree shouting your name. Dude, it was... All right, what is it? Spirit Folk? That one sucks. Fairhaven is a really good episode.
Yeah.
Stars and I watched it a couple years back.
It's good, actually.
The whole walk and talk with Doc where he's like, have you considered that it's not the hologram, it's you, and you can't just change things to suit your needs? It's really good. Like,
I think I'll be okay with a B. I don't think it's quite good enough for an A.
oh, dude, it's good.
Am I killing you here? You have to use your
No,
veto here.
No, I give it an A.
Hmm.
All right, you are going to have to break this tie.
I
Fine,
don't
'cause
remember
Jet says C.
anything about this episode. So I can't wait on it. I remember I
what
know him
season
from the
is
Star Trek
Fairhaven?
Timelines card, and he's called Seamus. That's about it. No, he's not Seamus. He's Michael Sullivan.
Saints
Seamus is the other
preserve
guy. See, that's how
It's a
little
season
my
6
Yeah, the
episode.
walrus.
It's a season 6 episode.
Oh, do it.
You guys are gonna have to fight this amongst yourselves, I'm afraid.
I'm right with a
Well, it's
B.
an A now. I can't.
Oh,
move
do
it
we have
now.
to poll the
It's
chat?
really-
I'll start a poll. Hold this one for now. Move on while I start a poll. All right, we're gonna have to do this one.
Okay. Here now, C's looking a little thin. This may make the cut here. Esri, Dax, and Julian Bashir.
Yeah.
No.
It's not good, but dude, it's not Narek and Narissa levels bad. It's just like
It's a consolation prize for not getting Jadzia, and I hate that about it.
dude, I know, but like he's such a nerd, he doesn't even mind. He's like, I know she would rather be with anyone else, but I'll take it. So
poll up in
Chat says
chat.
B on this one. All right, I'm gonna vote on this one. What?
I'm
Where's
gonna vote.
S?
Who cares? He's Irish. Idol's too racist. I voted for that one.
All right, we're in the home stretch, gentlemen. Esri and Bashir.
Too rushed.
I don't like
Too
it at all.
rushed.
D.
No.
They're both very attractive. I'll say that for you.
You know, yeah, okay. I'll concede to a C. I'll
C
concede to
is
a
fine.
C.
C is fine.
Yeah.
It's got
not
C
good,
written all
but-
over it.
Yeah.
Speaking of attractive people, Cristobal Rios and Alison Girardi.
Again, same kind of
Oh.
thing. Too rushed. No.
Yeah,
No
not a lot
reason-
going on there.
There's no
See?
reason other than she was frustrated one mission and then that was it.
Don't even really remember it, to be honest.
She's like, I want to love you, but I killed my husband, and I'm gonna throw my trauma edge. I'm gonna try to trauma dump on you after brutally murdering my husband.
It suffers
Yeah,
from a
I
lot
know.
of Picard writing. So yeah, C sounds about right.
C, Namer says C. Yeah, we got to fill out C. If everything isn't in alignment, then our brains tick wrong.
Yeah, we've got to move some stuff.
All right. Speaking of C tier, Kirk and Spock.
Oh,
The
gosh.
simple feeling, Jim.
Get the fuck out of here. It's S.
So gay. So gay.
No, you know what? I think we don't have time today, but we may have to do a stream where I argue for platonic and you argue for romantic, because I do think it is.
I'll just bring up that passage from the motion picture novelization where, like, Kirk has to in-universe justify the fact that it's not gay in a way that makes it sound even gayer.
Hey, Auto, a novelization's canon.
I think it is maybe the great platonic relationship of all time, and I think to add romance to it denigrates an idea that I wish was more widespread, that guys can hold hands and guys can hug and guys can kiss each other on the cheek and they can be there for each other, and it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. You know, I think when you're really
Are you
that
saying
close
that
to
what we
someone-
have isn't romantic, Auto?
No, it's not. And I love you, and I would kiss you right on the mouth, but we're not in love. So, and I think that should be normalized. I think that's
In other news, Sullivan is a B with 67% of the vote, and who cares? He's Irish, got 33% of the vote. So Sullivan
you're
is a
killing
B.
me, Swans. All right.
Vaguely offended at who cares he's Irish. Here's the thing: is I don't like hardcore shit like Spurk, as they call it. I think I can absolutely see platonic or romantic, but it's one of those things where it's like there are moments there that feel that they go a bit beyond, but like that's fine.
I mean, what
It's
was
like,
it? Well,
the simple
we just
feeling is-
watched one where it was Shore Leave, where he's getting a back rub from what's her name, Tonya Barrows, and going, oh yes,
Yeah.
right there, Spock, and then it's awkward. It's like, oh right, okay, no, sorry. You know, there are hints of it, but I am more on Auto's camp. It's definitely more a platonic.
Everyone's gay in Star Trek, Auto.
All right.
still
Could
S.
it be another S tier Loaxana relationship with Timothy?
God, why does Loaxana keep
This
getting
is-
all the brutal relationships? Like she is Dark Page, Odo,
This is
and
a
then this.
really
It's like
good
it's like,
episode.
God damn it, this woman's too happy to suffer.
Dude, David Ogden Steers knocks it out of the park. We get Michelle Forbes back as another character.
Oh yeah,
Such
I
a
think
rough
this is really,
episode. It hits hard.
really strong.
It's got to be at least an A. It's incredible.
I mean,
And again, it carries the episode because who cares about like
Okay.
the issues on the planet and the science stuff? Like they shovel in some technobabble, but the A story obviously is these two.
Let's talk about like are
She-
we more invested in the relationship because of his situation or more because of their interactions? Like his situation is tragic, but
I think they have really good chemistry, though. Like she
Yeah.
brings out that life in him that makes it that accentuates the tragedy. Because like you see that there is so much more to him that could like live out in a very very long comfortable life if not for this cultural tradition. You know, it's like that. They reinforce one another.
Yeah, I think they specifically scripted of her bringing something out of him because he plays this very stoic, meek, like scientist, hardcore scientist. And then as it goes on, you see him start to giggle. He says, "You're delightful. Do you know that?" And then later he gets mad and he starts talking like this because he wants her to know that he feels that way inside and that she's bringing it out of him, and he wishes that it wasn't that way, but it is. And so I feel like, yeah, it's definitely them. It's not just the situation. So
I
don't. It's one episode. Maybe S is too strong.
I think S is a bit strong, but I think A is. I'm hard locked on that. High A.
Like, I think it's much better than her and Odo, to be honest. And you do have the tragic resolution that mirrors Kira and Odo, where he goes to Neverland. She beams down with him to see him off, even though it's going to hurt her. She wants to be there for him. Kind of like, Odo goes back to the
depth as well.
Great Link.
Like, we hadn't seen anything of that from her in all of TNG, other than her sort of like playful eccentricism. I can't say that word.
Eccentricities.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go. Well done.
How many Rick Steiners have you had tonight?
I am on my 2.5.
Wow. So 3. Okay, Picard and Kamala from The Perfect Mate.
I think you nailed it.
Mad juice.
It's good.
I do find it curious, though, that in my opinion, the best scene to come from that is actually Picard and Beverly.
So let's look at the reason for that. I think it's a very strong relationship.
Yeah, it's great that it subverts the expectation that Riker was gonna end up being the foil here, but actually it's Picard. I love that.
You mean not minor number B from 10 Forward, who's like,
and it's Famke Janssen, like at her best.
I feel like the fact that it's her pheromones that are influencing him makes it somehow seem like a less genuine relationship. You know what I mean?
I think because they break.
If
through
she
that
never
in the
had those
episode.
pheromones, if they never had those pheromones, and he wasn't affected on a chemical level like that, would he still fall for her?
It did
as
feel
hard?
two-way though. It wasn't necessarily like a one-way. Oh, I've come to you out of this sort of like desire. Like, it definitely felt like there was an innate longing on her part as well in this episode, but obviously they couldn't do it.
Booter says A. Oh, that's right. We do get the Riker will be in the holodeck. Yeah, but that's that. The episode is so good. Holodeck 3.
I say A.
Right.
A works for me.
A.
Like, it feels.
A.
Again, it's like the Cisco Cassidy. It feels like two very mature adults having a conversation about this, and they do have some very frank
Which
conversations.
is funny because she's very young.
Exactly. Well,
Like,
exactly.
She's supposed to be just out of puberty or whatever.
Get out
so.
of Berman. But no, it does feel like, it's an adult relationship as opposed to more modern television where they do it out of lust and then balls up the storyline somewhere.
Speaking of Riker in Holodeck 3, the Janai pilot Soren, who Frakes wanted to be played by a man in that episode.
That's because
Outcast.
Jonathan Frakes is based.
He is.
I was reading. I just saw it like in a stray Reddit comment just this week. Someone pointed that out as one of the good galvanizing moments from sci-fi showing intergender stuff at a time where we had none of that. I know Stars isn't a big fan of the episode. What do you think of that particular relationship, though?
I think that they have okay chemistry, but it's not. I don't know, I think the actress rather that plays Soren just sort of. I understand that it's part of the point of the character that they are literally beige, like they have no. But it doesn't convince me for a romance.
It's
part of the problem,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally the neutral planet. Like, you're not allowed to have any strong characteristics one way or the other, which hurts the relationship in my mind.
Well, because it's chemically ironed out of them.
Yeah, I know, and it's just like it just. I don't remember anything about the actress's performance and their relationship that really sells me on the idea that this is a massive deviation from the norm. Like, it just feels like it's a bit underplayed, and I feel like I don't know. I can't speak to it, but
Is it B for beige? Is that the
That works for me.
rating code?
C, I think. I think it's like
C?
C.
Or Schiller Beijing code.
I would go B. I think it was a positive example of something that was hardly shown at the time. I think I do like the A-Team moment where Riker goes and assembles his covert team of him and Worf to go steal her away on the planet. Like that was a bit of he's willing to throw away his commission for that, which unearned or not, I think is a nice little nod to. No, he actually
it's a good moment.
dude, in all the flings that Riker's had, how many times has he thrown away his commission to go be with someone?
Actually, I think that might be
You're not
the
wrong.
only time. I can't think of it.
Yeah, because most of the time he does it well within the rules, so you know.
Yeah. That is his fuck it moment.
B, okay.
Yeah, I'll sign on that.
Strange New Worlds, Spock and Chapel.
Ooh.
There's a level of spice. Do you know what the thing is? This is why Shakespearean tragedies are so popular. This is a Shakespearean tragedy because we know the ending, don't we? We know how this works out. So every moment they tease us to go like, oh, well, will they, won't they, Ross and Rachel kind of thing. And like, no. We know it ends badly. We know it's not going to work out for either of them. And that's what makes it so much more juicier to watch and see how it happens. Well, especially the last couple of seasons, I feel like they can't play it out too much more.
If I need to leave you, I won't fight it. That's rough.
Yeah, it's good. So I am surprised. You know, the other side of it is I'm very surprised because they said, oh yeah, Spock and Chapel are going to be in Strange New Worlds and we're going to be investigating the relationship. And you're like, how can they do that pre-TOS with how much they know? And think, God, that's a crime against traditional Star Trek. But actually, no, it kind of works.
It works.
And it's based on the fact that like Jess Bush and Ethan Peck are phenomenal in the roles as well. I'm going to say a good.
I also really enjoy. I think at least an A. Like I really also enjoy. What's the episode? Charades, like Chapel's side of it, where she goes to talk to the Krakowians, and she has to convince them. And it's like because it's one of those things. Like we were talking about, like Worf and Jedzi and about how they navigate their cultural differences, and like a lot of the time it feels like they come into conflict over them more than they enjoy it about each other sometimes. Whereas I feel like that one scene in Strange New Worlds just perfectly articulates that Chapel, maybe he is better for me like this, and maybe it's easier, but that's not the person I care for and fell in love with, and I really like that one.
Do you remember there was I forget which episode it was, but it was Chapel and Spock around the dinner table, and she's wearing that sort of black and white dress, and she gives that one look up to Spock. And it's just the one look that Jess Bush gives.
I can tell you remember it.
I remember it very well.
Oh, that's Spock Amok. That's where
and it's very it's just Jess Bush being very good at articulating just like a little bit of just like understanding.
Yeah, that's a moment of oh no, I'm falling for him.
Yes, that's exactly it. And it's like the classic example is like I wish someone looked at me the way that Jess Bush looks at Spock. You know, the classic like they're very good together. A solid A, yet to be determined if they're going to fuck it up and not be an S, so we'll see.
What really hurt this for me, and I think Stars and I talked about it, and he disagreed, was it Spock and Mug? He and T'Pring say, all right, this isn't working, we need a little bit of a break. About 15 seconds later, the very next scene, he's making out with Chapel, and it's like, okay, we were on a break or whatever, but you were obviously emotionally unfaithful to her previous to that, which culminated in them, like, the moment it's quote-unquote legal or whatever, we're going to smash face, which made me look down on both of them. It's like, okay, you want to get into technicalities, but you were not emotionally faithful to
I don't blame T'Pring for instigating
betrothed or whatever.
Well, yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like that's why that's so good, because it is a flawed moment, but I don't feel like it's particularly out of character because it is very like Spock to do something dishonest with the instant that it's within like a legal sort of like gray zone. Like that's what he does all the time usually in combat or like command situations. And the idea that he extends that to his personal life, I kind of buy it. And it's like, let's be real here. We're talking about emotional honesty and faithfulness. he wasn't emotionally faithful to her that entire episode. That's why they're on a break, because he doesn't trust her enough to just tell her that he's fully human at that point. So it's like that. That just codifies the entire thesis of the episode.
I don't think a relationship built on being untrustworthy is a great relationship.
So the
that's
other
why
side
it's a tragic relationship that doesn't end up working out. It falls apart very quickly.
It does fall apart very quickly. That was going to be my next point. So they have this brief fling, and then literally, like the next episode, when they're subjected to a musical, they end up realizing that, like, actually this isn't working, and it is ending in tragedy, which kind of loops back round to my original point that we know this ends in tragedy for both parts, because T'Pring ends up going back.
The fact that
and
it's compelling at all, despite that fact, is a testament to how good it is.
Yeah, and that Ston is actually her one true love. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I like the relationship on its own, but I hate the way that they interweaved it with T'Pring and Chapel to the point where he's not being faithful, because he's a man of great character in a lot of moments, and this is just
he is in terms of diplomacy, but I mean, men of great diplomacy are often not great at love. So, you know, it takes Nixon to go to China.
Chat hasn't weighed in yet, which is
I'm saying A, definite A for me.
I would say A, yeah.
What about breakfast at Chapel's?
Commander Charles Trip Tucker III and T'Pol.
Oh, this is spicy.
I love these two.
Oh, hold on. Namer said he's with me, so going down to B. Sorry, guys.
No. Fuck off.
Yeah, we side with Chat, and it was 2-2. So Chat gets the tiebreaker.
I will fight for Chapel. I will fight for Tucker and T'Pol over Chapel and Spock any day.
The whole bit with like Elizabeth and like how distraught Trip is over her, like fuck me, man.
The moments where he meets T'Pol's mum, when they go back to Vulcan, like it's so good.
So
and
season 4, I think it's episode 7 or 8, where she begs him to leave the Columbia, come back to the Enterprise, and they end up kissing. And he goes, actually, I told Captain I was coming back yesterday, and he like wipes his lip or whatever. That is like such. And then she gives him this betrayed look, and I'm like, oh, injected into my veins. I'm like, this is the greatest shit I've ever seen in Enterprise. It's so good.
Yeah, it elevates like their relationship. And again, it's opposites attract. It's the Worf and Jadzia phenomenon. It's the alien and the human. It is. Works different, and especially her Vulcan stoicism. Especially, she's a little bit of a sort of using a reverse thing here, but she's a little bit of a T'Lyn. She's out of control a lot of the time. You know, she is a Vulcan that transcends the Vulcans. She enhances sort of like her species by being the abject outsider. And her engaging with this Florida man, of all things.
I do think they put in a lot of groundwork over all the seasons,
they did.
From antagonism to begrudging some sort of like the fact that Phlox prescribes him Vulcan neuropressure, whatever, is a little bit like Matchmaker, cheesy. Yeah. But it just worked. Like there,
it does. We have a lot of like
just have the chemistry to make it work. Yeah,
there's a good arc to it.
My brain comes to the fact is when they're sitting around the captain's table and they're having chefs bringing them dinner, and the one episode, I forget which episode it is, really early, and they're like they're sort of sawing, and she saws a breadstick with a knife and saying everything is possible, and they're him and Archer are constantly ribbing her, and we get the episode which
they're what her
deriding her. What did I say?
Ribbing.
It sounded like
ribbing.
You said ribbing.
Ribbing. No, I said ribbing. Ribbing. No, stop that.
That's what I heard.
Okay,
that's a different thing.
I say S.
I will go with S. It is very fully developed. It leads in 4 seasons, and you have every step of the way which leads them together, and it makes sense.
There was never a moment where I didn't buy them together. I was always just like,
absolutely.
no, this feels like a good place for their characters. Yeah.
Speaking of S, I mean ass. Wesley Crusher and Robin Leffler.
Oh, they're cute together.
See.
By the way, I've worked so many segues, and what do we have? Like 50 relationships. I'm the segue king today.
You are actually. Kudos. It's a B. I think they're cute.
So Shy Porn said that the game is Wesley's best episode, which I think I have to agree with. He's a very smart protagonist.
Final mission's pretty good for Wesley.
EP
There's some Prodigy episodes that are really good for Wesley, but you guys aren't ready for that yet.
Also, for two
Thank you.
two ostensible teenagers in a relationship, it didn't feel like a teenage relationship where you're like, I'm too
they
old
felt
for
like
this
young
shit.
adults. Yeah.
Hello, fellow kids.
And Leffler's laws are cute. Like I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought that they would actually work together. I liked it.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Give me a letter, gentlemen.
I went with B. I said B.
I say A. I think it's actually
Okay.
quite good. I'd rather watch them than
Is it
most of the people in
excellent?
B. I feel like, yeah, it had some good chemistry, but 2-1, I'm outvoted. I have no segue for this one. Worf and Kalar. We've had like 3 4 Worf relationships.
The only reason I wouldn't give it an S is she died too early. She had 2 episodes with it.
Well, you're not wrong, but
Yeah, we needed more. It's
Oh,
great.
Namer says
but-
S. I don't think.
Yeah, but he's
so
Susie
much
Claxton
chemistry,
Central.
man.
Like I like them.
Yeah.
She was again. It's another example. He's not quite a Klingon because he's learned Klingon through books. She's not quite a Klingon because she doesn't like it. They work
Yeah.
very well together because of that reason. I'm happy with an A on this one. It's engaging. It's great to watch. Like both examples.
I'm gonna pull a stars here. I'm gonna say something a little controversial.
Uh-oh.
I don't think Michael Dorn was up to the task in this particular relationship. Susie Plaxton is a 10 out of 10, nailing on all cylinders in every episode she plays as Kalar. And I feel like Worf is running at a 7 or an 8 for a lot of these. They're not quite matching energy. He doesn't, he has a couple emotional outbursts, but I feel like her acting is just top notch. And I don't think that Dorn, he has his great moments in other relationships, other episodes. I don't think he's up to the task.
And now for the rebuttal.
I'm not gonna fight. I'm just interested to hear what that turns out into a rating. What does that say? What's that?
We're not doing a pros and cons. Sorry.
That
would be an
that's
interesting
what we
episode,
exactly
though.
are going to do one day. Yes, we are so doing that. I found your guy's subject. Let's do it.
Well, I'm just saying this because you guys are throwing out S's, and I don't think it's unequivocally great. I think she's
No,
great.
I
think
said A.
it's
I
a
said
good. I'd be fine with A. I think.
I'll be all right with an A. I still.
And I think
ship
Alexander.
her- yeah.
Alexander's at his best when he's part of the triangle there, their relationship.
What's on his first episode?
So Namer says, I'd agree with you if they were human. Well, I'm talking about the human actors. I'm not talking about necessarily the characters. So A, we're okay with A. Idol needs to go to sleep
A
soon.
is fine. I'm good with A.
Speaking of A+++, Neelix and Cass.
D.
It's like the worst one.
Fuck's
This is the
sake,
worst
what?
one.
Who thought of this? And it's not even just the fact that, like, okay, she's 3 years old. 3 years old, right, fine. But, like,
she's 1.
Or 1, or
She's
whatever.
1.
Like, whatever prepubescent age it is. It's
The
just the
energies
fact
are
that
so
it's
off.
completely different. They don't engage romantically at all, other than, like, oh, we're a quirky couple. And, like, there is, and then they have the breakup, and you're like, what are they breaking up from?
How often do they even kiss? How often do they even
don't think
kiss? I
they
feel
do
they don't
ever.
because I don't think anyone wants to see that.
I don't even think they hug. I don't think anyone wants to ever hug Neelix because they disturb his makeup.
Bro, when Harry came out acts you in a relationship with Cass, like, that's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Actually, the fact that they both are exponentially better away from each other
Yeah.
just speaks to what a black hole that relationship is.
Yeah.
Okay. From one extreme to another, Picard and Beverly Crusher.
S tier. Come on.
I'm-
Have you
I'm
ever
throwing
seen
this.
a couple with more sauce? Like, come on.
Only because they waste so much time with it. Like, it's flitting
Yeah, but
around
there's
the
a
edges.
reason. They're both so traumatized.
But even by Picard
So-
season 3, it never gets
Oh,
resolved.
you mean where they brought out the best in each other?
Kind of.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
like
but
they were
kind
again,
of.
they had ruined each other's lives again.
Yeah,
So,
but
Idol, you were at the little boys' room when we talked about Troy and Riker, and I think I said something like, they almost do better as exes because they're always there for each other, but they just and never ended up clicking. That's what Picard and Crusher are, but better, I think. You have Attached, where they do great.
Oh, Attached is so good.
They do great work.
It is
like I
is
said,
hard.
the end of
Why don't
Perfect
you like
Mate,
our
which is really good.
breakfast?
Coffee and croissant. That's all you wanted. She brings out the best of them in Picard season 3. They deal with a very mature topic in him being responsible for her husband's death and still pull that off without anyone feeling awkward or.
I'm just reacting because I spent a lot of time on Twitter watching like Crusher Convo, spouting a lot of stuff about Beverly, so I feel like I have to be the rational balance there. But like, I don't disagree. I feel like this could have been the Tucker to Pol kind of like build-up relationship that went nowhere. It ended up being like toxic at the end, and then all of a sudden, surprise child for storyline reasons. I feel like the storyline and the reluctance to enter serialization hurt their relationship more.
So the problem isn't that serialization; it's hurt mostly by the movies. It's the fact that they wanted Picard open for romances.
Yeah.
So like, and then they only took advantage of it in 1 out of the 4 movies anyway. And it's like, you guys, we really did need Picard and Anish. We really didn't. No one is going to have that relationship.
There's a lot there. There's a lot there they could have done, but they didn't. And nothing ever came to a head until Picard season 3, and that's a lot of wasted time.
Well, they
Yeah, I
even
think that
kiss
was-
in All Good Things.
They do.
I think it was almost better though that they don't. There's a lot of shows where everybody wants the two main characters to get together and they drag it out and they drag it out because it would have ruined the show if they'd have done that. I feel like this is one of those. I think about Jag actually and Catherine Bell and I forget the other guy's name, but I feel like it would have made the show worse if they ended up together. So
I mean, look at All Good Things. Like that was actually a better point of their relationship than anything that came after in Picard because it already showed them divorced and resentful almost to a point, and that was more interesting than what they did in Picard season 3.
Yeah.
In my head. Anyway,
I don't necessarily agree with that. In your head is an interesting place.
Okay.
Yes,
I am
A.
All right, well, Namer and the two of us say yes. So
yes.
I won't fight you. It is important, but yeah, that's
right, we need to fill out C tier a little bit. Here is Geordie LaForge and Leah Brahms. We'll go with both holographic and real Leah.
Yeah, that sounds like a
I'm
C
sorry,
to me.
this is like a D. This just feels like a D actually. It's creepy on every level.
Bad. Yeah.
I think Galaxy Child redeems it quite a lot because
It tries to. I don't. It doesn't do enough.
No, I think he is humbled totally
And
by
then
her.
she apologizes to him.
Sorry, I found you with my sex doll.
No.
Now, here's
If
the
you
thing.
watched the
Here's the
whole thing, you would see what it was. It was two people working in a crisis situation. See, Jordy was right when he said that.
He wasn't. See, here's the thing. It's not a sex doll. That is unequivocally true. But it is creepy, and the way they try and resolve it completely fails in my mind by having her apologize.
It ruins Geordie as a character for a long time. Like it's.
No, it doesn't. What are you talking about? Jordy's a great character. It doesn't
I
ruin
think it
him.
hurts his character. I don't think it ruins him.
Okay, all right, fine.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about Booby Trap or Galaxy's Child or both?
Both.
Kind of both.
Yeah.
Because it's cumulative damage. It would be one thing if Booby Trap had happened and it's like, that was a one-time thing. It's like, it's a bit weird, but it's like the fact that he gets so defensive about it. And it's like, I get it. Like, this is Geordie's not the best in social situations a lot of the time. It's the apologize, and then like he should have just had a line, "You have nothing to apologize for." That at least would have been something. But it's the fact that the writers feel that there's something like going on there. It looks bad involved for everyone. It's not a good look.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad actually. They get married and all good things. Like what?
Oh no! Get out of here.
We actually don't find out in Picard season 3 who Geordie's wife is, do we?
Thank
I
God.
think we were all waiting for a name drop, and they just didn't give it to us.
I think they
But
knew
like,
better.
But like, she was married,
Oh,
but
no,
she's
no,
like,
it's,
well, that guy that recreated me on the holodeck was kind of cute, so I think I'll leave my husband for him. Yeah.
He's not married to Leah Brahms. He's actually married to what's her name from the DS9 two-parter that she also plays.
Bentine.
Bentine, yeah, that's the one. He's actually married to her.
Dude, actually, if they would have had a scene with her and Jordy,
That would have been funny. That would have been really funny, actually. I'd be okay with that.
It's my wife,
All right,
Admiral Bentine.
Jadzia Dax and Lenara Khan.
Oh, this is an easy A. This is
Yeah,
iconic. This is so tragic.
Comfortable A. Do you not feel like this was the same thing that was done? I mean, obviously, apart from the tantalizing lesbian kiss, but the same kind of thing was done in The Host in TNG.
Yeah, but they went a bit further with it here because they were allowed to make it explicitly gay. Like you can't really, you can't like.
It was a pioneering moment. I mean,
gay.
it is the it's the Shatner Uhura kiss of like modern Star Trek for that time. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll agree for the cultural impact for that.
Like the speaking personally and speaking of like my experience with Brody, it's like the validation of getting to see Jadzia be explicitly canonically bisexual and just like that actual acknowledgement of how like sexual biases and how attitudes change over time. It feels legitimately Star Trek in that way.
I would say, as far as Trill are concerned, I don't know if like bisexuality comes into it. It is more a feeling.
Oh no,
like,
it's not.
You know what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
dismiss your opinions here. I'm just trying to say like, it's a former lover that just happens to be a different sex, and that's what.
Well, yeah, because they code it.
Yeah.
Like that's what queer coding is all
Yeah.
about. It's about that you can't show it as exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want to talk and just say they don't want to turn to the camera and say if you think the bisexual people are gross, then you're gross. They go like bisexual people are fine, but this particular subset of people on Trill think that this particular
But what
kind
if
of
we put
relationship
their
is
kiss
gross.
in the trailer and just make we're doing this?
Well,
there was a little bit of
that's
that in
networky
there,
sex.
but
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's pioneer. It's pioneering for what it was.
Has Terry Farrell talked about this episode?
I'm sure she has. She must have done.
I mean, we'll get to it when we review the episode, but
yeah.
I don't have terribly strong feelings about it. I don't think I enjoyed it much, but I have fuzzy memories on the episode, so.
I'll put A for culture. I'll say A for.
I just don't
went
like
for an
Dax
A.
as a
That's not my
character,
thing.
so I don't like most of the stuff she does.
Oh, Brody would fight you.
I
All
like
right.
Dax's character. Go on.
However, let's pivot to something I do like. Another beautiful gay couple, even sexier than Lenara and Jadzia, Wilson Cruz.
Oh my gosh.
And
my
Anthony
gosh.
Rapp.
Yes, S tier without a doubt.
Yes.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Brushing their
I
teeth
love this
together.
How many like? As
I don't
Sorry.
I don't think they went far enough. I think that's the main drawback is we don't see them romantic enough. We see them talking and engineering and
I mean,
then
they're
they'll
not going
kiss
Brokeback
before he
Mountain
walks
on this,
out. No, that's not what I'm saying, but it seems more like token's the wrong word, but I wanted more quiet, intimate relationship moments with them, and I don't feel like they gave us quite
I see what
enough.
you're saying. Like it is definitely like we definitely didn't have. As
I
much
would
of
I
them.
could have gone for more of them.
Yeah.
It's we don't want to offend the fans who don't like this kind of thing. That's kind of the vibe that I got from it. Where it's
So-
like if we go too far, we'll upset the fans. So
No,
even though like they're both
It's
gay,
very tasteful and mature, and it's like this is something that is an issue. So I actually can speak on this. The gay men in media are often not allowed to be very messy. And speaking as someone who knows a lot of gay men and interacts with a lot of gay men are fucking messy as shit. They are They are personally just big messes. And like that doesn't really get shown in media as much because like it's not just they don't want to offend the people that like that are homophobic. It's a case of they feel like they risk pissing off their LGBT fan base by making them messy, and it's like I feel like that's a very consumeristic, very capitalistic approach to it. Where it's like, no, we want to see gay people being messy because that's what people are like.
We did have a little bit of that because they definitely split
little
up
bit.
for a while, didn't they? The end of season 2 and 3, and they had their whole dilemma. I think what Stamets and Culber sort of brings to this, and they've been awarded on many different sort of like fronts on this of being like a homosexual couple displayed on screen that has just been absolutely the most natural. And there is a tendency to sort of like with not attached with the rejoined, sorry,
Yeah,
with that
rejoined,
being the
yeah.
main focal point of just like there's gonna be this lesbian couple on the screen. Like they didn't sort of say like, hey, we're doing this gay couple for like the woke thing or the for the gay agenda or things like that. They did it because it was a natural couple. and it felt real. It didn't feel, you know, a straight white man myself, and I was watching them and I was like rooting for them the entire time because it felt like such a natural relationship that wasn't addressed because it was a gay relationship. It just felt like, okay, these guys are together because they're meant to be together. Again, they are also opposites a little bit. You've got Culber, who is sort of like the bit more of the adventuring, pioneering person, and Stamets, who is a bit more like the uptight engineer. And it felt like, oh, yeah, this feels like a real couple, and that's so great. It's really great to watch that it isn't like the center of the attention that they are gay. Is more like, no, these are two characters that are together. And I feel like that is the kind of the pioneering future that Star Trek should achieve for our humanity, and that this is normal. And that's the real great thing about it, and that's why it's S tier for me.
Booter, why do you think Stamets is lame? Let us know. All right, give me a letter, gentlemen.
S. Boom.
All right,
their entire plotline for season 2 is amazing.
Spock and T'Pring. Where do we put?
I feel bad for T'Pring.
Are we talking Strangely Wells T'Pring or TOS T'Pring?
Throw both in there because Amok Time is super famous. So
they make guess what? Like everything with Strangely Wells T'Pring is intrinsically tied to you knowing where Amok Time goes. So
by the way, I'm using my veto to put Pike and Patel in S tier because we've gotten to the end, and that's the one that's most egregious to me.
I won't find it. It's fine. Well, I can't find it, but okay.
You don't get rollover vetoes, so I can't use it next stream. I've got to use it or lose it. Spock and T'Pring.
I would say maybe a B. Like the thing is I like them as a couple and they have good energy, but like especially watching them interact, you can absolutely see why they weren't gonna match up. And it's just like with Spock and Chapel. It's like I'm not surprised that relationship fell apart because they were unwilling to compromise on the essential parts of what their characters are. Like T'Pring is too entrenched in Vulcan traditionalism because of her family, and Spock is too attached to Starfleet and the advancement of science to ever settle down completely. He wants to be on the cutting edge, and it's like I can't really blame either of them for that. And it does a really good job of expanding T'Pring's character and Strangely Wells done such a good job with her of making you feel for this woman who in the original was kind of played as kind of an emotionless harpy a little bit. Yeah, I feel like B is a good place for it. It's as a relationship, I can see why they fell apart, but from a dramatic standpoint, it's really good for them both.
The downside is I think it was charades where it kind of goes to pot fairly quickly. They could have drawn it out more, but they only had 10 episodes per season, so I feel like that's probably why they had to.
Namer says, I want to see alien relationships more. It seemed like BS to me to drop them and throw Chapel in. I think it worked because you knew what the resolution was going to be. You knew he was going to break up with T'Pring. Well, why is that? We do have the baked-in answer. Well, he's married to Starfleet, but there's got to be a little bit more. I think if you're going to have several seasons of Strange New Worlds, give it a little bit more. We already know that Chapel has a thing for him from TOS. I thought that was a fine, natural connection for them to do that. I don't love the way they executed it. I think Namer and I are on the same page about that. But I think as a catalyst for them breaking up, I think it's fine. I love the cold, logical breakdown in Spock, or in Amok Time, where she's like, and again, you would leave me and I would have Ston and all his land. And it was like, and what does he say? Flawlessly logical. He's impressed at how efficiently she's getting rid of him for Ston. So there is even if it's not a beautiful relationship, you have to admire somehow.
I hate you, but goddamn, you're so logical.
Yeah, but damn it, do I respect you?
I gotta respect the fuck out of you.
Letters, gentlemen.
I say B.
B works for me.
What are you thinking of?
Oh, that's fine. All right. And to lock things down, end things, Automaton 2000 and Stars and Garters.
S tier.
S tier. Come on.
I think B.
Yeah, I'm way more of a fan of Automaton and Captain Idol, personally.
Actually, you know what? I haven't seen enough of them together. We haven't seen the progression from single
It's all been off panel, you know, all off
yeah.
screen. We haven't really seen the development.
Yeah, it's just 1 minute, you know.
It's a shame I use my veto, because if you guys are saying S, then I guess.
I like the picture you picked for us as well. That's iconic.
It's very iconic. It's iconic for
I think
us.
so. I forget who photoshopped that, but that was hilarious. One of the
I
viewers
thought you
did that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
No.
Oh.
I only recently learned how to tilt images in MS Paint, so I couldn't have done that years ago.
It was Neymar, of course. It was Neymar.
Oh, Neymar did. Okay.
There you go.
Well, then
Neymar
full
ships us.
circle. There you go.
Hang on, I need to rearrange
All right,
these
fellas, the
windows
sun has gone down in the 3 hours that we've been doing this.
It has been 3 hours.
The butter has melted into the nooks and crannies.
It's been a very buttery butter zone. We have.
I'm happy with this tier list. It's good.
It's a good tier list. What are you cooking tomorrow, guys? What's dinners for tomorrow?
I have no clue. I might be pork.
Sunday is I just snack and scrounge on Sunday. Because it's football all day, and I don't feel like standing around and cooking something. So
yeah, we've got.
I do eat a lot of pizza. I order a lot of pizza on Sundays.
Idle, what about you?
We've got some sort of
Child ham. Are you going to turn your children into ham
big old
again?
child ham? Yeah, it depends on the child. It varies from person to person. No, we've got some bassa fillets as like kind of like a whitefish.
Ooh, very nice.
Gonna fry them up with a bit of couscous, which the children hate, but I don't care because I'm like, it's healthy and you're eating it.
Dude, who hates couscous?
Children do. Children don't like anything unless it's beige. It's chicken nuggets and chips. They don't want to know.
I feel like anything countable is generally a hit with kids.
Yeah, but couscous is tiny. Like you can't count that.
Yeah, but you can count them.
Do you count couscous?
I guess broccoli florets are countable, and kids don't like those either, but they don't know what they're missing. So, Booter says, you're cutting in my Age of Empires sign. Booter, why don't you join me tonight? And then, Mr. I have a girlfriend. Come on, we'll play a game together.
Place of Age of Auto.
Wild ham and couscous. So.
Yeah. Is that our outro? Who's outroing these? Should I outro it, or do you want to outro it?
It's still your show. I just did the
I
turn
know.
stuff.
No. Okay, all right. Thank you,
I'm all
everyone.
tapped. I am all segued out. I give you 50 segues.
Oh my god, it's all going off.
Oh no.
You going there already?
Okay, all the triggers at once.
Wait. Hold on, I got one more.
I can't read.
God damn it.
Oh, that review's coming up soon. Actually, it will be, I forget, I think day after tomorrow, our first Andromeda review will be hitting. Please go and check that out. We have watched 5 episodes of Andromeda. Guys, how did you feel about Andromeda after 5 episodes?
All right. Episode 1 was okay. Episode 4 was very good. The others you want to gouge your eyes out on, but we do have a lot of fun riffing on them. So if you want really crappy sci-fi that we just shit on, I think
wait till episode 3
and 5.
Episode
3 and
3.
5 will be your bag.
Oh my god.
If you like good sci-fi, episode 4.
Episode 4 is good, genuinely good, but the rest of it,
actually
no,
good.
not so much. Yeah.
On top of that, we'll come back on Wednesday because we're playing some Star Trek Adventures. I was going to say it was going to be the final mission. I found a mission that was better, so it's going to be the preemptive final mission.
I'm better.
Yes.
I'm better now.
Indeed. So come join us for that. Discord, all that lovely stuff. We will see you soon. Enjoy some Shatner. Live long and prosper. Terra.
What about you, Booker?
Well, I was thinking about Tahiti. What'd you have in mind?
I was thinking about dinner at my place about 8 o'clock. Why don't you make it 7? You can help me find a place to kill some new plants.
Hey, wait a minute. How do I know you can cook?
Booker, trust me.
Trust me. Now, where have I heard that before?